Hey, welcome back to an episode of It's Wrong Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey, bud.
You're back, man.
Guess who's back? It's me. I'm back.
Back in black.
Welcome home, everyone. We're talking about Cannon Busters this week. A little show that came out on Netflix.
Cannon Busters. Like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
I nailed it.
The name didn't really fit into the show. Like, I get it.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Anyways, yeah, it just came out on Netflix, so we thought we should review it. It's also one of the few Netflix original that isn't like 3D CG. This was a pretty unique thing, and we were kind of excited for it, but like hesitantly excited. So I'm glad that we're getting to talk about this.
Yeah, it's just something that I think I heard about maybe 2 years ago at Anime Expo.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, it's finally going to happen. And it happened.
Well, it's here.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that, but let's talk about you, man. You were dead last episode.
Yeah, so pretty much, just to keep you guys up to date, my wisdom teeth, I think it was like a year and a half-ish ago, they were acting up. Dentist said he could get rid of one. The other one like shouldn't be causing any issues, but like they should take it out maybe. Anyways, not even that one. That wasn't the one that was hurting me this time. Now it's the other two on the other side that were also told like, hey man, you're going to be good, like in the past. Yeah. And then of course I just went to the dentist to go get that one removed because he's like, kind of the issue.
Shit, man, this is a mess.
Yeah. So anyways, I got a bunch of dentist stuff. My teeth stopped being good, I guess. My enamel just turned to garbage at some point.
Yeah, it hit the expiration date where teeth are just like, no good no more.
Yeah, so anyways, I got these wisdom teeth growing in wrong. Or I guess they've already grown in, but like it's at an angle or whatever, so they're adjusting wrong.
And it hurts.
Very, very painful. I got like no sleep, was in way too much pain. Long story short, I'm getting some teeth taken out of my face. Then we're talking about Crunchyroll Expo. Yeah. Because the next day we're going to Crunchyroll Expo. Hopefully I'll be able to be fine.
You have your procedure on Thursday. Friday morning we leave for Crunchyroll Expo. We'll probably have something up, because it's there for 2-3 days, I think.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do an episode for that. So
and we'll probably not do like daily episodes.
We'll probably just do.
We don't know Crunchyroll Expo.
Probably one and done.
I think that would probably be the best plan.
But it's going to be great because, you never know with procedures. Like, you could be, 24 hours, pop up, be fine. Or you can just be, like, big swollen guy McGee and be, like...
Who knows, man?
Looped out, which is going to be great.
It's going to be something.
We're going to go to Crunchyroll Expo because last year we were going to go. And there was, like, so much stuff happening, right?
There was a lot. And then I fucking stubbed might be putting it lightly. I fucking obliterated my pinky toe.
Like all the flesh was off. It was pretty gross.
Yeah, it was not okay. I'm prone to being hurt in some way or another for Crunchyroll Expo, I guess. But last year I was like, can't fucking walk on it. If it was my hand, yeah, dude, let's go. But it's my foot. I'm not walking on that shit. So the fact that this is my face, I'm like, yeah, I'll deal with
it. We'll figure it out.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, I was talking to Sarah. I was like, hey, man, I mean, Trip might not even be lucid for Crunchyroll Expo. I was like, if he can't do it, you and I will just review it.
Yeah. And honestly, here's the thing, though. This isn't going to be a big procedure on my face. Yeah. It's not going to be like most people when they got their wisdom teeth removed. Pretty much everyone I've talked to at work lately has been like, oh, man, that's going to be rough. Like, you got to do a whole thing. I'm like, no, this one's different because, like, all of my teeth, I have a huge-ass mouth, so they were able to grow in. Everyone else has gotten their teeth removed, even as adults or whatever. They've gotten their teeth removed with a couple of them still impacted. They haven't come out yet. Yeah. All my teeth have grown in. They just have crooked roots, so it's difficult to be removed. Yeah. That's the biggest issue. So that's why I have to have like a procedure. It's just a doctor who could do it better than my dentist. So.
Well, I know that like, the fucking science of wisdom teeth has improved a lot in the last several years. Yeah. It used to be such like a scary thing where like, hey man, they could fuck up horribly, hit a nerve or whatever, you paralyze in the jaw. It's like, they cut that shit open, pull out some teeth, problem solved. Yeah. Like when I had mine done,
I'm not even getting it cut up. They're just like, I think that they're gonna like break my teeth and pull it out.
I've seen that because like not like in like a real one, but like
you've seen like an animated, really cool.
I'm a fan of those, man.
It's good because it removes all the like gore and the creepiness and it dehumanizes it, but it's also still relatable enough for that I understand. Yeah.
The wildest one I saw was like the conversion of like how they make like a section kind of thing. And I was just like, this is so gnarly, right?
Yeah.
And it was so detailed. I was like, this is very impressed by whoever had to animate this. I was like, oh man, this is a job. I could do this.
If you've ever actually seen that procedure, holy fuck. No, that's not okay to like, oh man, the videos. Ooh.
That's why I would never want to see it. But this 3D one where it's like, everything's clean and everything's and
exactly.
They like pull arrows and stuff. I'm like, oh nice. It's
like, and those flip out that way.
And it's just kind of like a taco, and you tie it here and you go, nice.
Weird, cool, great.
Well, anyways, you're doing that, and then we're going to Crunchyroll, so it's great.
I'm super excited about it. Crunchyroll Expo, it's such like a different thing than Anime Expo because we're so familiar with Anime Expo at this point. It's been something that I've been going to for years, and now you're really familiar with it, and we know like where to go and what to do, and we're ready for everything. But Crunchyroll Expo is close by. It's a few hours away from us, and it feels like it's not as big of a thing because we're not like getting plane tickets. We're not like making it a big old deal.
We're going to drive there. Yeah.
And we're going to drive there casually the day of.
Yeah,
not like,
we'll get there.
Got to get there a couple days beforehand.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for it. Weird feelings about everything.
Yeah.
But hey, man, how do you feel about watching all of Satoshi Kon's things from last week? Now that you're like an accomplished Satoshi master.
There's one thing I haven't seen from him, actually. I don't know if I told you about this. I was looking at his discography or whatever.
Yeah, so his filmography.
I always say disc because it's fucking Wikipedia.
DVDs.
Wikipedia has really fucked me up.
Yeah.
Damn it, discography, filmography.
Okay.
But anyway, so, we've seen Paprika. Which I think you showed me, right?
You showed Paprika. That started your journey.
Yeah, and then we've seen Tokyo Godfathers.
Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue, which I fucking love it. I think anytime that comes in theaters, I just probably go watch it. It's just such a good movie.
Really good.
I saw this Millennium actress. I've seen, I think, every episode except for like 3 of Paranoid Agent. And it's just like, school got caught up and it's like, I can't watch these last 3 episodes. I gotta fucking go back and finish it. He's a part of Memories. He didn't direct it, but he did a specific story. So it's like I've seen a lot of stuff. Turns out he also did like the JoJo season for a bit. I'm not watching that. Because that's just not up my alley. But apparently he did like, I think it's an episode in a series where it's kind of like a, what's the word? Like an anthology kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he has one thing where he specifically directed. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's about. And I don't know like where to find it. So it's something I'm going to dive deep into because I really want to be like, I've seen it all. I've seen all the things except for JoJo because like, I don't fucking care, right?
Yeah.
All the things that are him and I want to see. But from the stuff that is fucking able to stream, or stuff that we own.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And I'm really happy. It's really great to see like this guy's work. It's a bummer. He doesn't make, he passed away and can't make any more work.
Yeah.
Because his shit was really good. Did you
good influence?
Real quick, did you end up watching?
No, I could not.
Couldn't watch it.
I couldn't focus until recently, and then we started watching the show for this week. And
I check it out, and if you get a chance, I think you'd enjoy it. It's not like his best, in my opinion. It's for sure not like something to like. It's not like pumped or anything. It's like it's a chill watch.
Okay,
but it's for sure. If you like his movies, you'll be like, cool, man.
I'm into it.
Nice.
Okay,
so it was good. Yeah,
sweet. Well, yeah. Other than that, let's see. This last week. It's been pretty uneventful for me. Just getting back into the swing of things at work since I had to call out for a couple of days. And this is while my boss was gone. So I was like, fuck, I was supposed to be the boss in the office, but now I can't do that. So people had to try to cover for the important paperwork, which was all good. But oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We got... I'm like, what should I even say on this? What's okay or not? Fuck it, dude. We got a new guy. All right.
Oh boy, here we go. Because he knows about the podcast.
Everyone knows about that. If you're my coworker, everyone knows about it. You're probably not going to listen to it for over like 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Any random person.
Yeah.
So we got this new guy, and I've had to work with him a lot. Like every single day that he's been out at our property, I've had to work with him and like make sure all the right stuff's going on and like listen to every word he says to not fuck it up. This dude doesn't listen. He doesn't learn. He doesn't pay attention. It's been kind of rough. The roughest part though is that no notes were really taken. I had 6 notes left on my desk.
They're like, hey man, you suck. Get well soon.
Not from him, no. They were all from other people, and they left notes about, hey, this is going on, this is that. So I had a good list of stuff for me to take care of when I got back into work. I got back in the same day as my boss. So I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. This is my situation. I had to call out a couple of days. Hopefully everything's fine. I got into work early, of course, so that I could try to,
get through it.
Yeah, and lead her into these are the things that I know about, and we'll see what else is going on. And then it turns out that we had so much shit that happened that nobody wrote any notes about, nothing. But this new guy was there, and he knew about like a bunch of situations that we were kind of like asking things about. And then there were so many more details that were told and that happened that nobody wrote shit about, and he happened to know all of it. And he didn't write any notes or anything. And like, how would we know to prompt him to like answer these things? And we kept coming up with weird stuff. And we're like, well, what about these weird things? What about that and that and that? He knew all of it.
Dude, snitches get stitches, man. It's hard, Yeah. He's trying to keep the street code alive.
It's rough, man. I mean,
I know you don't like him. You do like to talk about him a lot. And I go, oh, man, how bad could this guy be? He's lovely. I met him the other day. Sweetest guy in the world.
Total sweetheart. I think the frustrating thing stems from his personality, because he wants to be good. He really wants to be good. But he also thinks that he's good, and he's really cocky about anything, and he tries to correct you on shit despite not knowing anything about what the fuck you're talking about. And you're like, no, actually, this is the way it is, but whatever.
Yeah.
And he does that more so with people that aren't in a higher position than him.
Yeah. So he can he still does it around flex on him or whatever, be like, you're not my boss.
And they're like, okay, I've worked here 2 years.
Cool.
Okay, man.
Dude.
Okay. So that being said, he's really cocky about stuff. He's arrogant. He's kind of dumb. He has no base behind all of his cockiness. But the thing that got me is when people move into apartments, I work in property management for anyone that doesn't know. When people move into apartments, we give them a list of any flaws that we found in the apartment, any cracked tiles on the floor, any kind of issue that we might charge them for, or things that people might be concerned about being charged for. We write that all down so that they can rest easy and know hey,
we're aware of the situation. Yeah.
One of the things that we go over is for any kind of markings on cabinets, if any drawers or cabinet doors or any of that are scuffed up, if they have little dings on them, we write that down. And he points at a knot in the wood, and he asks if that's damage that we write down. And I'm like, no, that's a knot in the wood.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay then. So what about this? And he points to another knot, and I'm like, man.
Did you tell him what wood is? He explained how wood works and what a knot is.
I didn't know what would be more demeaning is me breaking down all right, so wood grains, normally you can see the rings in the wood, but it's a little bit different because it's cut at a different angle.
This was a branch, dog.
And yeah, I didn't want to explain all of that to him. I'm no, man, that's just a part of the wood. Some of the wood just has stuff like that, so it might have things that look like it's damaged,
but
it's just a part of the wood.
Yeah.
And he starts feeling it. Just to make
He goes, it's smooth, man.
He didn't trust me. And I'm like, that's how knots are, dude.
That's how knots work, bro.
That's what it is.
No, man, my favorite is I got a text from you. I don't know how long you've been working there, but
so this is what happened. I worked with him 2 days.
Yeah.
Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, just you know what, he seems okay. He's a little bit getting ahead of himself, but he seems fine.
He's a go-getter.
I try to go into every relationship with a coworker and we're going to be friends, we're going to get along, and if we're not friends, we're still going to work together, so we have to tolerate each other and enjoy whatever there can be when we work together. So I was just I just haven't found it yet. I need to connect with him a little bit more. He likes some of the same shit that I like. He likes D&D. He likes some nerd shit. Whatever. Then the second day, he asked me what I was up to the night before or whatever. We just recorded the podcast, so I explained that I do the podcast and was talking a little bit about it. And by a little bit about it, I said, oh yeah, I have an anime podcast. So we talk about anime news and whatever new anime there is, and just kind of talk for a bit ahead of time and give them a breakdown of the show, like I do for everyone that kind of asks what's going on.
What's your show about?
Without me really selling it to them. Just it's just kind of a general whatever. And I'm like, this is my coworker. I don't know if I want him to know all about me. I don't know if I want him to listen to me yet. So whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've seen some anime, and he lists Anohana, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one to list. Okay, cool. And he lists like a couple others, Death Note, something else, I don't know. He doesn't like One Punch Man, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, it's not for everyone. It is pretty anime, but whatever. And then he starts like telling me what anime is when we got into a conversation about Castlevania.
Yeah.
Which Castlevania on Netflix... super fun. Didn't like season 2 too much. A lot of people liked season 2. Just my personal thing.
I think season 1 was way better, but
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
and it's got an anime style.
Yeah,
it's an American company
Netflix
that hired a dude who's Indian.
Yeah,
to direct a show about a Japanese game. And it was made in Korea.
Yeah,
the South studio Korea, that made it in South Korea.
They made they did, I think they also did like Avatar: Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, right? And they did Voltron. Yeah, so like a good studio, right?
Oh yeah,
but technically, geographically, not in Japan, right?
No, I'm like the concept, Castlevania, the style, all very Japanese.
Very Japanese.
But it's not anime because anime is technically any animation that comes out of Japan that they consider to be anime. So Japan could release some animation and not consider it anime.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain that to him too. I'm like, yeah, it's a finite,
it's a gray area, yeah.
It's one of those things where it's very definitive of what is not anime.
Yeah.
But what is anime is a little bit more gray.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. It's easy to tell what it is. It's easy to tell what anime is. Like, boom, just follow this rule.
Yeah.
But the harder, to be like, what's not anime? It's like, well, but I get what you're saying. So you sent me this text and you're like, I'm like, why? Because you were outraged. You're like, this fucking...
It was like 11 at night and I was still thinking about it because he was trying to say like, well, it's still anime. I'm like, no, like this one's not though. And he's like, well, who's to say? Do you consider Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
Yes.
And I'm like, absolutely.
It's made in Japan,
like, what about Pokemon? 100%.
It's also made in Japan, yeah.
It's like, because I wouldn't. I'm like,
oh, you.
Oh, no. Oh, we're dealing with a heathen in here. He's fucking. You have an anime podcast? Let me just teach you a thing or two. My opinion on anime is that this isn't actually anime. Okay, well, that's wrong. Your opinion on math could be like, it's not math. It's actually just English written in numbers. So it's like, that's a dumbass opinion. It doesn't make sense. But okay.
No, dude, that's great, man. Just because when I heard that he said like, you think Yu-Gi-Oh's anime? I was like, yeah, it's from Japan. It's like based off a manga. Like,
I had a hard time not just like laughing him out.
I understand that it is very Americanized because like the dub is huge in the United States and the playing card game is huge, and like and Pokemon is also massive. Like like the dub was a huge part of our childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
But all those things come from Japan, and all those things like the cards and like the Pokemon video games, those are all products of Japan, right? Like, so what makes you think it's not anime? Like, it's like,
I know, it was so weird. And then he started talking about like, well, in the dubs, like these things, and they changed these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so that's 4 kids, and they're a Canadian studio that brought these over from Japan, and they edited it and put in some things that would make it more acceptable
to a Western audience.
Yeah, because we didn't know shit about Japan or their animation at the time, other than like the very niche anime communities. Anyway, so I tried to explain each part of it to him, and he still wasn't having it by the end of it. I just got so fucking fed up with this kid.
Well, and so that's all I know. That's like the biggest gripe I've heard of you with this guy, and I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't like him either, man. Like, he sounds like a real jerk.
Yeah, it's an attitude thing. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's driven and he wants to learn and he wants to be good, but I'm like, dog,
he wants to run.
Fucking trying to tell me what my podcast is, and you don't know shit.
He wants to run without like learning how to crawl or walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry I've been dealing with that. I didn't know if we'd talk about him on the pod just because like I know that
I don't think so yet, but
because it's been
if we had, I'm still gonna I fucking can't.
It's been boiling for like a couple weeks where it's like, damn, Trip really doesn't like this kid.
Don't.
Sorry,
man. It sucks. I want to like people. That's the fucking frustrating part.
It's so much easier. It's easier to like people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, whatever, I have to work with you. I'll find parts of you that I like.
Yeah.
But like every little part, it just feels like he's trying to like be smarter or correct me on things. And it's like, my dog, my homie boy, come on, man. There are even times where we've reviewed things on here like Castlevania. And I think there are a couple others, but there was one specifically, I can't recall the name, and I was trying to find what studio made it. and it turns out that it wasn't on my anime list because it was so far removed from anime.
Yeah.
Even though it was like huge anime influence, because there's some things like Cannon Busters, for example, this is considered an anime.
Yeah.
Because it's from Japan.
It's a studio in Japan, yeah.
Yep.
2 studios in Japan, actually. I think.
2 studios in Japan. Even though it's like directed by an American dude.
Yeah. And it's, produced by by Netflix, which is American.
Exactly.
business.
Like lots of parts are American.
Yeah.
But it is technically animation from an animation studio out of Japan. This is fucking anime.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Castlevania would not be considered that.
I mean, it's so easy, man. You get a big old checkbox, and the only question is, was this made in Japan?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Check. All right, cool. We got anime.
And for those of you that have been like, what is anime? Hey, now you know.
Now you know.
Welcome to the crash course on what the fuck is anime.
This is this week's episode. We're talking about what anime is.
Yeah.
No, I do remember us reviewing something that was it was very influenced by anime, had the style and the vibe, but it wasn't anime at all. We're like, huh.
I don't even remember what it was.
Trip.
But yeah, man, we've watched so much goddamn anime at this point. A few weeks ago, I was thinking, I'm like, wow, so we're on episode 150 whatever now, and that means that we've watched at least that much anime.
Yeah.
We've watched more on our own time, and we've like condensed some anime into different shows. And we used to have half episodes,
and then there's some that are like, we didn't just watch the one, we watched like all 12 episodes of this one show, and we go, fuck, like, because we always get 32 or 30ish. For every season, right?
Yep.
Multiply that by the ones we like. Multiply by that by like the movies we watch.
It's
gross. It's pretty gross.
So we are anime degenerates at this point. Just have seen so many different things, and if we haven't seen it, we've probably seen clips of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
You're for sure the shitlord of anime, though.
I goddamn am. You're damn straight. I'm the shitlord of anime. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. This is just.
I'm sorry you're dealing with that.
It's a constant struggle thinking this person doesn't know what anime is and he's not willing to learn.
It's okay, man.
It's just fucking frustrating.
You can lead a horse to water.
And then he's still like, have you seen Eden of the East? And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? Why he's bringing up Eden of the East, some weird ass anime from 2011 that I really liked. Like, who does this?
I think he's just like looking at old episodes just to get a rise out of you.
I don't even know. And I'm like, yeah, I have seen that. Like, and he goes, why are you talking about it?
It's trash.
He's just like, some of my friends are just talking about it. Like, all right.
That's a good one, though. I actually like that one.
Yeah, I like Eden of the East a lot. And I was just like, yeah, the show is really good. And the movie's not really that great. But like, I enjoyed it all as a whole.
Yeah, I agree.
That kind of stuff. And I'm like, and Future Diaries, also a lot of fun, similar ideas. So I mix up a lot of parts between the two, but they're very different.
That, they both got phones, so that's all you really need.
Pretty much. And they both have, their goal is either to kill the person or to get the money. And in Future Diaries, it's just to kill the person.
Even the East has the character that's like really fat, right? Like he was like a panty guy.
Yeah.
That guy dies.
His name was Panties.
He gets killed, right?
No.
He doesn't?
No.
I thought he runs out of the apartment eventually, like wearing like sweatpants, and then doesn't someone kill him?
No.
I don't remember.
See, that's the thing.
I just figured like he must have died because that's Future Diaries, right? Like, that guy's dead.
No, that was Eden in the East.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Future Diaries, everyone dies.
But I mixed them up.
It's all mixed up. Also, there's that scene in Eden in the East. It's one of the first like character deaths that we see where this dude's wife killed him.
All right.
In the park.
I remember that.
Yeah, he went outside and she killed him in the park. Stabbed him.
Wow, fuck, I don't remember nothing.
At a children's park.
I remember that he was at the White House for a bit. That was pretty good. That's like the first episode.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Fuck. Shit. You see, that's what happens when you watch so much anime. You just fucking, they all blur together. And then at what point does he summon his trap card?
In the White House. When does that happen? Yeah, exactly, right? And who gets banished to the Shadow Realm?
Yeah. Oh, that's not anime, though, technically.
No, technically, no.
Anyways, man. Okay, what have I been up to, dude? I want to know. I watched all of New Girl.
All of it in a week?
Well, I had watched like two or three seasons in the past.
Okay.
And then Sierra started watching it, and it was like way past where I'd seen it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's right. I remember watching this. It's one of those things that I would turn on while I like work or whatever. And I was like, I could start watching this again. Might as well finish it.
It's fine, yeah.
And I finished it, and I was like, that's how I felt. Like there's for sure like a
they're good
like
episodes.
A bell curve, right? Where it's just like this is the point of New Girl being at its best, and then it's like and then it's just kind of okay, right?
Yeah, there's a whole part too with the whole Nick and Jess getting together that I was just like, I not really. Yeah. And then there were other episodes where they were still together. I'm like, you know what? No, this is working. I think it's just very inconsistent.
I feel like one of like the weakest parts was the part where like they brought Megan Fox in.
And stuff. Absolutely. I was like,
really. And it's like she is a very beautiful person. She is not a very good actress. And like I think the character they made her play is just like, yeah, just be this cold bitch that's super cool. And she's like, I can do that. And it's like, yeah, I still don't like that though. Like it's like I don't fucking she'll say shit like, Nick, I love you. And you go, yeah, I don't fucking believe you though, bro. Like, do you really love Nick? Are you really down for Nick? And she's like, oh, I'm like, fuck.
I still don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I finished it.
Yeah,
glad
welcome
I finished
to the end.
Yeah, welcome. It's over. It was nice.
I had a fun time with it.
I think, like I said, like my favorite characters, I think were like Schmidt and Winston, right?
Yeah,
like the characters I least care about are like Jess, Nick, Cece's okay.
Yeah, Cece.
Coach gets on my nerve a lot. I think.
Yeah,
there's bits where I like him. Yeah, it was an alright show. I'm glad I finished it. I don't think I'll rewatch it. There's sitcoms that I do rewatch. I rewatch like Friends all the time. I rewatch, fucking The Office. But there's other shows that I've never even checked out. Like, never seen Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah, that one. That one takes precedence, like, way above New Girl for me.
I've never seen, what's it called? Like, from the beginning, Arrested Development. Like, I've seen bits, like, episodes, like, with you guys, but I don't know what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
But there's like shows. I was like, yeah, there's other shows I can for sure pop in and start watching. And
there's some good shit out there.
Feels good to like have like, oh, cool, another one's done, another one in the bag.
Add Barry to your list. I wasn't sure how I felt about it.
Barry was the hitman, right?
Yeah, Bill Hader becomes an actor.
I watched all of season 1.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I watched a couple episodes of season 1. Didn't really know how I felt. Picked it back up. Yeah. Watched it into season 2. Finished it. Loved it. Season 2, just oof. It was
I watched
good.
all season 1. I started season 2, and then like I got caught up with like
just things.
The wedding and moving, and now I don't have HBO, so I'm just like,
that's rough.
I gotta
rough
watch.
Life, man.
I know. I'll figure out how to watch it. But yeah, Barry, I enjoyed. I really like I don't know what.
NoHo Hank
is that there with no eyebrows.
Yeah.
What is he? What ethnicity are they?
Ukrainian?
Yeah. Oh my god, he is so fucking
he's so good.
Funny.
So funny.
When he got shot like in episode like end of episode 1 or some part in episode 2, and I go, oh no, he's fucking dead, right? And I was like, what a bummer. And to find out he survived, I was like, oh thank God. Like
he just got like grazed.
Yeah. He's like he got shot like in the shoulder or something like, but he's what a good character. Good show for sure. Good show.
Yeah. There's a whole bit too, and I think it's the second season. This is my favorite moment with him is they're trying to kill Barry because some shit went south like really early. So they're sniping him from outside of his apartment. They're on some other building trying to shoot at him, and they're like missing really, really bad snipers. So he like shoots one of them from his apartment and then like goes out and meets them on the roof. And they're like, oh, Barry, it's so good. What are you doing here? Trying to be all surprised. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Just like, it's not my idea. And his other friend's just like screaming in pain. He's like, I got shot too. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
No, I love
stupid. I love him.
I think the Ukrainian people become friends with the Colombians and like I
don't know specifically what races or what,
but like they start like running drugs together, and they start like he becomes really good friends with like the leader, and like almost it's a relationship.
Yeah, it's totally a relationship, and it's so funny.
That. And he like they bring in like I don't know if they're like Samoans or Islanders to be like the muscle, and he's just like so upset. He's like why is she here? Like we don't need her. Like you have us. Are we not enough for you guys? Like that shit is so fucking funny. And they do the weird thing where like. They're playing that game where they stab like a knife around your fingers, and he's like, "Oh, I've seen it before. What you're gonna fucking twirl the knife around and not hit your fingers?" And she just stabs herself in the hand, and he goes, "Oh, well, okay, that was a game changer. That was hard." Like
terrified. Like no,
like instantly,
we don't want that. That's crazy. We don't want that here around here at all.
Instantly, just like holy fuck. Like hold up, wait a minute, right? Yeah, the show's good. I've seen some of it.
Yeah, so I watched all of that. I highly recommend you get into that.
Season 2's done. Yeah. Cool. I really like that show. Yeah.
Oh man,
I'll talk to you. I want to talk about like a specific spoiler, but I don't want to spoil it for people who watch it. We'll talk about that later. What else have I done, man? I met up with. I've been meeting up with a couple friends. Just catching up and being like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing?" And the question I get a lot, man, is, "Hey, how's married life?" And fuck, I really dislike that question. That question I almost dislike as much as the question I had before getting married, which was, hey man, you nervous? So those two questions have for the last like I don't know.
I hate that kind of shit so much.
Last 6 months of my life have been those comment, and like I'm so fed up with them. I was like, can you ask me anything else? Ask me how the weather is, right? Like, obviously,
that's where you're at right now.
Yeah, because I'm so sick of people being like, hey man, how's married life? Like, yeah, you could ask other shit. You know, how's the dog? You know, ask how's Sierra doing, right? Like, how's the podcast? Watch any good shows recently? But no, all I get is how's married life. I'm like, fucking Christ. So
you're like, normal.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great. I have no complaints. But like these friends, you know, these friends who've been asking me, most people that ask me are like, you know, just people who know me on the surface or whatever. Like, but these are like better, closer friends. And they'll ask me that. Yeah, and instead of being like,
are we doing a call out? Are we calling somebody out on the show?
No, they're better, closer friends. And so when they ask that, I'll go into this rant. I'll be like, how about you ask me something else, asshole? Like, I'm fucking great, you know? There's more to me than being married, man. Like, you know, and then they go, okay, hold on, settle down. Like, you're right. I should calm down. This isn't the end of the world. Fucking Christ. If somebody else asks me how married life is today, I'm just going to lose it.
I don't know. I hate those basic ass questions. It's like, what are the answers that you want from me? Like, what's the interesting answer that you want from me? Do you want me to say like, oh man, shit's rough? Like,
I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to fucking spook someone and be like, dude, it's going really bad. Like, I mean, she hits me and like, I haven't had water in like 3 days, you know? Like, I really want to like play it up to being like, she's a monster or whatever. Cause like
Sarah is a monster. Let's be fair.
She's a little monster.
She's our little monster.
She's our little monster, but she works for us. I mean, we work for her.
I definitely work for her. She pays me handsomely.
Yeah. She don't pay me at all.
$7,000 an hour.
What? An hour?
An hour.
Holy
I only
fuck.
work for her once like every year, but you know, it's a lucrative hour.
That's pretty dope, man. Anyways, I'm doing great, guys. The weather here in Chico.
How is it? It fucking sucks. It's so hot.
The weather here in Chico is hot.
Thank God we're not living over in the UK right now, though.
Shit's
all
melting.
Of Europe,
yeah,
because they're dealing with the exact same temperatures we are. But thankfully, we have air conditioning. Mm-hmm. Europe doesn't have a need for it. They're up in like Canada levels for people that aren't aware of like geography. Mm-hmm. Which I'm not super familiar, but you know, they're up where Canada is, and Canada is colder, and they're dealing with a heat wave over in Europe.
Yeah, we're like the sidewalks are melting. Well, what I think is super interesting is like not only like are we more used to this heat, right? Like we have AC and stuff like that, but we also make things to be like preventative of the heat. Like, like, cool, this material is going to stand up to the heat of this, whatever. Over there, it's like, yeah, man, I make this out of that because that's what we make them out of. But like, they don't expect it to be as hot as it is now. So it's just like, so shit's like, why is this breaking? Why is this melting? I was like, because it's not made for this temperature, right? Like,
I just feel bad for them over there.
It's rough.
But weather here, you know, it sucks too.
It just sucks. It's the same.
You know,
hopefully it starts cooling down, man. Anyways, weather's hot. The dog's fine. Sierra's really busy with work.
Fun dog news.
What's up with dog news? She's got her own Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is it called? I don't even follow it. Do you have it offhand?
I sure do. It's called ghost__car.
Oh my God. So the joke is La Llorona came out, which was like La Llorona, which was a movie. Who is the guy from The Conjuring? Did he like
he produced
it? So that guy produced this
James Wan, yeah,
he produced this one, and it's supposed to be one of those horror movies. And for people who don't know, La Llorona is like essentially like a boogeyman kind of story for Mexicans or Latinos or whatever. It's about a lady who cries. She's like a ghost because her children drowned, or she drowned her children, or something like that, right?
Whatever, yeah.
So
typical ghost stuff.
Yeah. So fucking. The trailer came out for this movie, and like I think we were all hanging out. I mean, Kyle was there, right?
Yeah,
in the trailer, these kids are stuck in a car, and the locks keep getting popped. Like he'll close the lock.
The whole trailer was just a car,
right?
Yeah.
And the things get open, like the window gets pulled down, like rolled down. Like this is an old looking car, right? Mm-hmm. And it goes like, I think it's called like The Legend of La Llorona or something like that, you know. And then Kyle kind of leans over, and is like, "Hey man, what does La Llorona mean?" I was like, "Oh, it means." But before I could finish, he goes like, "Does it mean ghost car?" Like that's it. So
yeah, man, it was during the time Kyle and I kept making jokes. Like that's the joke that I came up with. Yeah,
I don't know why ghost car has become
because it's really stupid.
My dog's like nickname.
Stupid things stick around with our groups. And your dog is all white.
Yeah, she is all white. She's got a couple
looks like a little ghost car.
A couple little brown spots.
Cars go.
Yeah.
Dogs also go.
Go, yeah. So
go dog go.
Sierra was like, I think it was yesterday was like International like Dog Day or whatever. And so she's like, I gotta take a picture of Bella. I was like, go ahead. And then like she's like sitting on the couch, like clicking away. And I was like, I don't know what she's doing, you know? And then she goes, I did it. So she goes, Bella officially has an Instagram. I'm like, why? Like, she's like, if that's what she wants to do, it's fucking fine. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. But I know that today Sierra asked me, she's like, hey, what Halloween costume should we get her? And I was just like, don't get her anything. Let her just not. Yeah. It. And it's like, just don't let her not have it. She's like, we have to get her something. It's like, how's she gonna know how's she gonna know we love her if we don't get her a costume? It's like, oh no. I mean, I didn't think about it. I think she's like, oh, that's so funny. I think she like suggested Ladybug or whatever. I was like, that's fine. If she's gonna swerve into it, she might as well make a ghost car costume. Like, put it on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
you mean ghost car like La Llorona?
No, an actual ghost car. Okay. Like a cardboard car that she wears on her.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Big dog news.
Dog news. If you want to follow the stories of La Llorona or my dog Bella, I guess follow the Instagram handle. Was it ghost__car?
I believe so. Maybe it's only one underscore, but it sure looks like two.
I don't know, man. I don't even follow her, but Sierra will be posting stuff there. I think it'd make her really happy if she got some people following her. She's a pretty dog. She's dumb. She's a dumb dog.
Pretty dumb
dog. Students are back. And, so it's gonna be hard.
Hey, how's it feel not going to school?
Feels great.
Yeah.
Actually, today on my trip, I had lunch with a friend or whatever. Mm-hmm. While we were driving, we were talking about the students, or whatever, all this stuff. And then he goes, "Yeah, so how's the semester?" And I go, "What? What are you talking about?" He goes, "Like, you got one more semester." I was like, "No."
He didn't go to your graduation?
No.
Wow.
You didn't either, asshole. And then for a split second, I had like a heart attack, like a mini heart attack. And I was like, wait, dude, did I graduate? And then he goes, yeah, like I thought you had one more semester. Like, and I go, no, I graduated. I for sure got my diploma. It's at home. I mean, it's at my parents' house. So like, no, I don't go to school anymore. And he goes, oh, cool. That's good. I was just like, but I was like, oh my God, did I miss registration? Did I not?
You absolutely did.
I was so scared. Phase football comes up on Sunday. Doing the draft.
Hell yeah.
Stoked for that.
Dude, hell yeah.
There's things happening, but they're not like important things.
Nothing's
so
important.
Let's talk about what anime we're watching, yeah?
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
What anime have you been checking out?
All right, so let's jump back to a while ago. I was watching K-On! And then I dropped it because whatever, other stuff happening, yeah, whatever. And then I came in and I was like, oh, I dropped it on like the last episode of the season of the first season. So I rewatched that and I forgot. Super fun, super cute. The whole deal is it's the school like festival thing. I don't know what the hell, where they all like have a concert and there's a talent show and every classroom sets shit up.
The cultural festival.
Thank you. God, I'm like, you know the thing.
It's not the sports festival. It's the other festival.
It's in every anime you've ever seen. Yeah. You know, man. So anyways, they're doing that, but then one of the characters gets sick. So she is trying to recover and like make it there. And she's delusional. Yeah, you're pointing up near where she is.
To the brown one?
Yeah.
Nice. Like the main character?
Yeah, Yui.
Okay, cool.
So Yui gets sick. And then I think it's the day of the festival. Maybe it's the day before. I don't know. And they're getting ready to practice or whatever. And she shows up. And they're like, oh my God, you're so much better. Like, wow, you look amazing. She's like, yeah, no big deal. Like, I'm good. I wanted to make sure that I would be good for the festival. So I'm here. And then they practice or whatever. And I'm like, hang on a second. Let's play that again. They practice again. And they're like, yeah, we sound way too good. What's going on? We sound way better than normal. And it turns out that it was her little sister that was playing in her place that like dressed up like her and everything. And they're like, what the hell? And they realized because she was being a little bit too formal with everyone. And
so Yui has a younger sister.
Yeah. And the younger sister is way more responsible. And then we find out that the younger sister, even though she didn't know how to play guitar, she like taught her older sister how because the older sister didn't understand it. Right? so she's like way better at it.
So it's not like she knew how to play guitar. It was like her older sister trying to learn the guitar. And she goes like, you don't get it. Here, let me explain this to you. So this is a chord.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is, whoa, you're so good at it, little sister. You know, that kind of stuff.
Oh my God. Does she look like you?
Good. When she's dressed up like that. Okay. Yeah. So
that's hella dumb.
It was really stupid and really funny. I forgot about that bit and it's hilarious. So yeah, I got a huge kick out of that. And the whole episode is just a sweet, fun time. But that's all the old anime that I've been watching. I've been keeping up with everything that I've been normally watching. Copcraft, still, it's all right. You know, it's right now I feel like it's really lacking a direction.
Yeah.
So each episode that I watch, I'm like, that's good. I wish that it had like, an overarching plot that I could really dive into. But it's at the point where they did have a beginning plot line and then it switched over and they're trying to find the like next plot line. And I feel like it's almost getting there. So hopefully it's good. Whatever. If it's not, it's not. That's fine. I'm debating if I want to get back into Dr. Stone.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet, but if I do watch it, I'm just going to dive straight in because I know that you've been watching it. And you've said that it's picked up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm caught up with Dr. Stone. I think there's like 7 or 8 episodes out right now.
Yeah.
So after the beginning bit, like they do this stuff with like the big buff dude that they rescue.
Yeah.
You got that far, right?
Yeah.
So like they have a bit with that, and then they start the new arc, which is like, I guess it's like it's revealed that some people, I mean, it's not explained how yet, but some people survive the thing. What do they call it? They call it the
stoning.
The getting petrified, like they survived it or whatever. Yeah. And some people like they don't have like the weird swirly things like Dr. Stone.
So they've persisted for all of those years.
So like they've had generations, like there's 3 or 4 generations apart. So like there's these civilizations and like our homie Dr. Stone or whatever, goes to one and his goal is to try to like convince them to join him to start like a rival nation against like the bad guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the bad guy wants to rule the place with like, but just like have the young people rule it and it be more like doesn't want civilization to go back to what it was. He wants like to start like a new one, right? Mm-hmm. And our Dr. Stone guy is just like, no, I want civilization to thrive like it used to, and then proceed forward. He's like, and so he wants to deal with the technology and stuff like that. And this other guy's like, no, we don't need that. So he's trying to collect these guys to join him. And then one of the guys calls himself a sorcerer. I think his name is Chrome.
Okay,
and he's doing stuff like he's throwing like shavings of like metal onto fire and it changes the color, he's I was like, look at my sorcery, and he goes like,
Dr. Stone's like, nah man, here, let me explain the science.
Yeah, you're doing this or whatever. He's like, cool, it's interesting you found this stuff or whatever. And he does this other thing where like, he plays with static electricity, like he rubs it and like he touches someone and they get shocked or he's like, oh my god. And then like Dr. Stone like does a different thing with it and like he makes his hair go all huge or whatever. And he's like, and I don't know what the last one was. I think he makes something like he plates something in gold or whatever. Like he melts something and it turns, a reaction makes it turn gold, and they're like, holy fuck, this guy's a huge wizard or whatever. And it's interesting. It's the characters are like they're joining his group. We got the little chick with the apple on her head.
Yeah, people think she's adorable.
It's actually a watermelon, I guess.
Yeah, melon, whatever.
I thought it looks like an apple to me. It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, but hey, it's fine. I don't think it's like
you think I should watch?
No, I don't think you should watch it.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think you'd like it. If you still didn't like it then, I don't think you'd like it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like not impressed with the characters, so I thought maybe the bigger cast. Who knows?
New characters were added, and I enjoy some of them. I still think you're gonna be like, meh, whatever.
Yeah,
the coolest thing they did right now is like he's trying to win people over to like he's trying to make steel, because his overall goal is to make an antibiotic. Because like the chick that's in charge of this clan, I think she's like the priestess or whatever, is sick. So he's like, I'll make an antibiotic, but we had to do a lot of things to like essentially like
to get to the point where we can actually make an antibiotic.
Yes. So like the first thing they're trying to make is steel, and like they don't have a furnace hot enough to melt it because and they need manpower to be able like to pump this thing. Anyways, so to win people over, he's decided like, I guess like he's what's the word? He's gotten like information. He's had the apple chick get information. He's like, some people want this, some people want that. He's like, cool, I'll make ramen. Cause like,
sure,
cause one of the guys is like sick of like eating fish. He's like, okay. And this other girl's like, she's like, I want a man. I don't want him. He doesn't have to be strong or smart or anything or good looking. I just need him to be able like to provide food for me. So he's like, cool, we'll make ramen. And you know what cattails are, right?
Yeah.
They call them something different in the show, but like, he's like, cool, they found cattails and like, I guess they pulled a grain out of it and he's able to make ramen with it. And these people have never eaten ramen and they're like, this is delicious, it's amazing. He tries it, like, this tastes like ass. Like, it's like the worst thing ever. He's like, but hey, they don't know the fucking difference. So
they haven't ever had anything good before.
Yeah, they all have like, we have fish, we have these fruit.
Yeah.
We don't cook stuff with salt or spice or whatever. So that's pretty fun. I enjoy it. I still think the show looks ugly at points. Like, kind of reminiscent of like not Kakuri, the Immortal Sugimoto, Golden Kamuy.
Oh, yeah,
where they'll have those like, ugly faces. This shit has ugly faces, and they also sometimes it's just not drawn well. And I still don't get it. Like I don't understand where the money's going or like what the studio is doing. I'm just super surprised that this show is supposed to be so fucking massive and they can't make it look slick and clean like on the levels of like My Hero Bones or like fucking anything, Cloverworks or like, like to be like, this is going to be the next big thing.
Man,
and it
you can't always win.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But if you're really into like the educational, like how did they make these technologies kind of thing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
If you're into that, check out the YouTube channel Primitive Technologies. It's this dude out of Australia who he essentially goes out into the woods somewhere. And he creates this like hut, and then he builds up and he creates furnaces, and then he starts agriculture. Then eventually he's like making metals and whatnot.
He's making tools and stuff. I've seen that guy. That guy's fucking so dope. Cool. Yeah.
He's awesome. And the best part about his videos is he doesn't talk. So you could go into it for two different experiences. If you just want to see it all done and like realize it, it's kind of like an ASMR experience where it's all just like these interesting sounds that you wouldn't normally hear in your daily life.
By the way, right?
No,
it's not sped up. I think I've seen it sped up where it's like click, click, click. He's like hitting rocks or whatever. It's like I've seen him do like make a furnace and like makes like no,
he just does different clips. So like it won't be the entire process. Like you won't see every single step, but it'll be like, this is how you do this step,
but without telling you how.
Yeah, and then it cuts to another shot of him doing something else, and then he does like a couple different angles of him trying to take care of that task or whatever, and he's setting up just whatever he has to do. But then if you watch it with what is it fucking called?
Closed caption?
Yeah, if you watch it with like captions or whatever, it'll pop up different things on the screen and be like, I'm doing this for this reason,
cool.
and like this is where this is found or whatever.
That's like the bald guy that does like the video game stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Seth Everman.
Yeah,
he's great.
So he doesn't. I don't think he ever talks.
He talks in some videos, but not in like his music ones. Really,
most rarely, like usually. In the music, he's like doesn't speak or whatever. But I remember like I've seen those before. I'm like, these are fun. These are interesting.
Yeah,
and then
I like them.
Kyle sent me one over, and he goes like, turn the captions on. And I was like, okay. And he does all these weird things with the closed caption. I was like, huh, that's funny. Like,
yeah, man, it's great.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you like Dr. Stone, if you like the like learning and the like whole how are they like living, how's this actually happened kind of aspect of it, Primitive Technology is a really cool channel to check out. And he's done, I think, 3 different places. He made one. He got to the point where he felt like he was too advanced. So he went to a new location. So it's completely fresh, totally different stuff going on. And then a fire burnt that down recently. So he's starting up again. And it's so interesting how that's kind of how it works. He's like, okay, so this is my first hut. It's fine. And then he like rebuilds his hut, and then he does like a second one, and he knows exactly what he wants for his hut. So he builds it like really nice, and then that gets burnt down. So he knows what he's doing for his third hut now. Yeah. And he's like, each thing that he does is an improvement. And the first one that you see, you're like, oh, damn, that's really interesting. That's a nice hut. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then you see the second one, and you're like, whew, baby, okay.
Oh, fucking.
And you think you know a thing or two about furnaces, and then he's like, all right, so this one here is like a fully automated brick furnace. And you're like, what? It's great.
Yeah. So Dr. Stone has those elements into it.
Yeah.
It's obviously more like, fun and kiddie or whatever. And it's like they got the anime elements. So
sure, yeah.
So it's kind of like, there's for sure moments like that where I'm just like, why do I care how they're making this? I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. They're making ramen. It's pretty cool.
If you like doing a learn, check it out. So then I've also been watching Vinland Saga. You've been watching?
Yeah, caught up.
Oh, man. I think I'm one episode behind.
Oh, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I know.
You dumb
right?
piece of shit. This is like one of the only times I've ever like ahead of something from you. You don't know what's coming next. I know what's coming next.
Uh-huh.
Where you at? What happened?
They just had a big old siege.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then after that, they're going to like, the kid challenged the guy to a duel.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember. I think that was the end of the episode.
I think that is the end of that episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's where it's at. I'm really enjoying the show. Every episode is consistently good in different ways, and it's interesting to see that our main character's dad is the one who is just like, you never have to fight people, you don't have to kill.
No one's your enemy, he said.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, this kid has killed so many people, and he's just a ruthless fucking monster, all because he wants to avenge his father. It's like a really interesting path to see, like, his dad's like, don't do anything bad. People need to be people.
Yeah.
let them exist.
Yeah. So
this kid's like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill everyone though.
So this kid, like, he's so fucking gung ho about like avenging his father. Like,
it's been years.
But he's doing the one thing his dad told him not to. That's like, let it go. Just don't make my mistakes. And it's so interesting if we're gonna be like so driven by this revenge.
Yeah.
And be like, you're literally upsetting your father. Like, his wishes were for you to not do this.
Yep.
Oh man,
that's what I love about the show is I'm watching it, and I mean, it looks amazing.
Dude, he's totally gone though. Like, like there's the episode.
He's not a person.
There's the episode where like he gets picked up by those ladies, and they clothe him, and they dress his wounds,
and they're trying to treat him really well.
They take his lice out, or whatever. Like, they give him a bath, and it's like, and he like, for a second goes like, run, like in their own language, because it's their language, and then he just calls the fucking horde in to fucking destroy shit. And he's just killing soldiers left and right, and the lady looks at him, and it's like he looks like a feral animal. I'm like, oh my god, like,
and he's like, I fucking told you to run.
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, it's like, this guy's just, he's a monster. Like, he's this Viking warrior. Like, he's like, no man, I'm gonna kill. Like, I'm good at this. And it's like, so fucking, it's kind of, it's like oddly sad. You're just like, oh my god, like, as badass as this is, you go,
it's really compelling though. So I'm excited to see more about it.
And it looks really good. I think it looks great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wit Studio, you know what's up.
Wit absolutely does know how to make something look good.
They don't know how to make a good like intro. Like, when I mean like their stupid motorcycle bits, like,
that's not Wit.
That is Wit.
No.
Oh, it is.
No, I promise you this. It's not Wit. They put on different studios. It's Mappa, it's Wit, it's different studios. It's not exclusively Wit.
Hold on. So you're saying that?
I'm saying that for this, yes, it is Wit, but it's not Wit's.
The motorcycle bits isn't Wit's, is what you're saying?
Yes.
How is that?
It says Wit on it, but you could also see Mappa.
No shit. Why would they do that? Why would they just why have that there? That is so confusing, because that is the worst.
I don't know. I'm gonna pull this up for you though.
I have seen Mappa do it. I have seen Mappa do the motorcycle.
You can visualize it now.
I've seen Mappa do the motorcycle boys. I know they've done it before, but I don't understand why they would also do this for Wit. So who does it? Is it Amazon?
Maybe
that does
it's
that?
Amazon.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't know.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, when you play Vinland Sagas on like
this guy.
Yeah. Hold on.
All right, we're doing a video.
Yeah. This is the live reaction.
Oh, this is a live.
No. I'm saying this is.
Okay.
You're hearing me talk.
And normally it says Wit on the back of the motorcycle jacket or on the license or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I think the Wit one. I think the Wit one looks different. I don't fucking know.
What?
Play the intro to fucking Vinland Saga. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that, like, so when I play Vinland Saga on Prime, like, this intro thing starts up and like these motorcycles start revving and stuff, and then they fucking gun it, and it looks like horrible shitty CG or whatever, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like, it doesn't, right? Like, it doesn't.
I don't think it looks that bad, but yeah,
I think it looks like ass, honestly. Like,
I know you do now.
It's just like, it's so like dumb. And if it's Prime doing it, like, what the fuck are they thinking?
I don't know, man. All right, let's see. This is Amazon original. Can I skip it? I can. Yeah. All right, so now we're checking out the Wit live reaction from Juan.
It's different. It's like the exact
same. Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different. I can't tell. Sure. I'm gonna have to fucking. I'm gonna go
side
by side. I can't do this. Put them side by side.
So the one that I showed you for Mappa was longer.
Yeah,
of course, but I think that there's a full version of the Wit one as well. Anyways, yeah, it's like an older intro, and it doesn't look like the cleanest animation.
I don't know, but I want to know who does it. I think it's Prime, and if it's Prime that does this, why are they doing this?
Let me see if there's a description on this this YouTube video.
It's the most frustrating thing.
Oh, it's also Studio Voln has done it.
Oh my god!
So I think it must be Amazon, because this person that posted the video said they noticed it while they were watching Dororo and Karakuri Circus, which is, I think that was those are both Prime things. Yeah. That was Prime. And yeah.
Fuck you, Amazon. What a dumb thing to do. Just leave them alone. Just fucking play the show.
So Mappa and Voln were both founded by ex-coworkers from Madhouse Animation. Mappa was founded this year and Voln that year. The first two animations of Voln were co-produced by Mappa. That's probably the reason that they were similar. And I'm like, but Wit does it too now. So I don't think people actually know.
It's so frustrating. Fuck.
It's Twin Engine is, I guess, what it's called.
Anyways, Vinland Saga is really good. You should watch it.
Please do.
I think I'm gonna end up reading it. Honestly, I don't know how long I'll be able to wait for like whenever the season's over. I think it's like 2 core.
They're produced by Twin Engine. That's what it is. So it's not the studio that makes it. It's the producers.
Producers are dumb as fuck. So essentially the Pony Canyons of them, right? No, they're distributors, right?
I don't
fucking care.
Listen, man, I'm an anime shitlord. Okay, I'm not an anime
producer,
like, business boy.
Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm gonna because I think Vinland Saga is 2 core.
Yeah,
I want to say that.
Yeah, and it's fucking huge.
So I'm I really like the show. I think I'm just gonna end up reading the manga because I have to know what happens.
There's so much that goes on. See, I'm not as driven by the story. I really like the characters and the development and everything, but I'm not like, holy shit, what's going to happen next? And it's like, I just want to see what's going to happen next.
I agree. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So it doesn't have that driving force of story behind it for me, but I'm so intrigued.
I just want to see some fucking badass fights.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Yeah. Anyways, what else are you watching anime?
And then, of course, we go to my favorite place to watch anime this season, High Dive.
High Dive, yeah.
So what we so lovingly call sex girls, which is O Maidens in your Savage Season.
I call it O Maidens because I don't.
Oh, you call it? Okay, no.
I don't call it sex girls with anybody else. You text it to me.
Yeah, well, Kyle and I call it sex girls. So that's what it is.
Yeah, so it's pretty accurate.
Sex girls is amazing. Mm-hmm. I mean, this group of girls that's in a book club, you know, they're interested in sex. They're trying to learn more about it.
They're in high school.
It's a very coming of age high school story. Yeah. And, you know, you wouldn't go into it thinking it's good. And then every episode, I'm so driven. I'm like, I love this show. I fucking love it. I love the characters. I love the way that things are unraveling. I fucking hate the bad characters so much.
I think I'm like 3 episodes behind, maybe 2.
Fuck, dude. Have you gotten the thing about the cool girl's old like dance teacher?
Yeah, I have gone to that. The furthest I've gone to is the cool girl went to his office and asked him to kiss her, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on here?"
That's the most that's not the most recent, but that's last week's episode.
Is it?
You're caught up, man.
I don't think so. I think I saw that was 2 episodes behind. Yesterday, I went and I saw that I needed to watch 2 more episodes.
I think you're like 1 episode behind.
Like 2 episodes.
So what happens with High Dive is they'll put up a preview for the next episode since it comes out on Fridays. So you probably saw that there's another episode,
probably
but
not.
It'll say like, hey, this date.
Probably not. Probably wrong.
Why do you do this, man? Why do you fucking do
He's wrong.
that? I'm
It's
just
a good
trying
show.
to help you.
It's a good show.
I fucking love it.
Who's your favorite character?
For sure my favorite show of the season. I don't really have a favorite character.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I like them all so much for different reasons. I love the teacher that's being blackmailed. He's being kind of a fuck about everything, and I really like him. I love the little monster girl that's involved with him. The monster girl's great.
But like I cannot. I don't know. I feel really weird about the teacher who's being blackmailed. You know?
Yeah.
Because he's doing some pretty fucked shit, right?
He's pretty fucked up, but he's also like, I'm going to teach you some hard lessons, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So parts of me are like, wow, fuck this guy, but I'm also like, I don't know, fuck this girl too, dude. They're both in really difficult positions.
They're both really like complex characters. You know, like
that's the best part about every show is every character in the show is really complex. Yeah. It's not like they're just trying to throw in extra characters. Every character has so much depth, and all of their words have so much impact.
I've been calling it for a couple episodes. I don't know if it's if it's been confirmed yet, or if you. I mean, you probably agree, but because like all the characters have like their bit, right? Like they have like, you know, cool girl, whatever, has a horrible past. Mm-hmm. You know, tall chick that was ugly, has a boyfriend, and she's kind of a shitty girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know, chick loves the neighbor. There's the horrible monster girl that like is a writer,
and then the one you're going to talk about right now. Yeah,
and the last one,
there's the main character's best friend and also gay.
She's a lesbian.
She's
right?
for sure gay. Doesn't know it.
Oh man, I was so calling. I was like, man, she's a lesbian. Like I knew it. Like I know lesbians. She's a lesbian. And this last episode, I'm just like, oh, I fucking knew it, dude. Ooh, I felt so good about
she's just talking about like girls are just so soft and they're so great, and like she's going off about how great girls are.
I go, oh, I know, but even before that, like I was like, I fucking know it. Like there's no way. Like you're not, because like it'd be such a bummer to have like all these great characters and the last character just be like, she's just like a really good friend. It's like, no, fuck you.
She's awesome.
Do something with her.
That's why I love all the characters. I'm like, of course you gotta like the main character. Yeah. She's shy, but she's like smart and funny, and she's just embarrassed and shy at this point, but she's like figuring out how to be more confident and to pursue her neighbor friend that she's so into. She's a great character. Her best friend, not very featured yet.
No.
She's all of the scenes she's in. I love her. She's
great
amazing.
moments.
So good. And her like boyfriend guy or whatever.
What a
fucking
dick.
Sucks. I hate him so much.
He's this tool guy.
So great.
Like,
he's a total tool.
He's this guy that like he thought he was really being really slick. Now they're dating, and like he just comes off as like a really pretentious like douchebag.
He's
right?
so cocky,
even though he thinks he's like being really suave and a great boyfriend. And it was like, nah,
he sucks.
It ain't. Nah,
I love it.
It ain't happening. I think my favorite character is the main character. Like I really like all the other stories.
She's so well intentioned. I
think all the other stories are just a little too much, like a little too like over the top for me to be like I can connect with that, right? Like personally, like hers is just like she has these unrequited feelings for somebody. Like
she is that foundation. She's that
like,
connector.
So because of that, because it's like it's more realistic or more grounded. Or these other things happen, right? But like obviously they didn't happen to me. I never had.
You're not lesbian?
No, I don't have sexual encounters with my English teacher.
Yeah,
it was my math teacher. Boom, got him. Now he's in jail.
Which is a real thing that happened, not to you, but to our math teacher in high school.
What a piece of shit. So you see, you put that in context of the real world, right? Like like this guy did this real thing, and that's such a horrible thing. And then this character who's like being blackmailed or whatever, it's just like he's also playing with her or whatever, and like he's also teasing her and also trying to like do these things like to teach her a lesson, like. But sometimes I feel like, man, you took that too far. And
there are for sure times where I'm like, dude, she is still like a girl who's growing and learning.
She's like 15 or 16 at the most, right? I really, what I really would like for the show? I really would like for the show for him to get arrested or something to happen. Like for him to lose his job because of the scandal or whatever. Because but
here's the thing though, he's not as bad as Cool Girl's dancing teacher. But at all. But
I feel like he's been doing it for so long or whatever. Like I don't think he'd get caught. And Cool Girl is kind of twisted in the head to the point where like,
well, that's because of him.
So like I don't think she would like it would come to light or whatever. Like,
who knows, man?
I really think it'd be more realistic for this English teacher to get caught, and I really want him to lose his job and like to be fired and all that stuff. Because I really want the moment where like the two of them are just standing there, and he's just like, "Hey man, I kind of brought this on myself. I shouldn't have done any of those things. They're all wrong or whatever, and have him like peace out." Because it's like, oh god, like I can't condone it. It's just so weird.
No, I mean I can't, that's the thing about this too. Is I'm like, you know what? He didn't want to be in this situation. He's in it, so he's trying to give her the hardest time.
Yeah,
but also don't. You're an adult. Treat her like a child because she still is.
It's such a weird. This is a very strange show for us to enjoy. I feel like
it's so good. Yeah. It's so rich. It's with like detail and character development.
High Dive is now like the HBO of anime. Like they fucking know what they're doing, dog.
I can't believe you just said that. Right? That is so true for this season.
Like if High Dive started off and they went dum dum, I'd be like, yeah, that feels right. Like this is for sure.
That's Netflix.
No, what's HBO's? Right, something like that, and they go. Yeah, I don't remember. That'd be fucking great. I really want. Man, I don't know what I want with the show because.
So here's some good news for you.
It's canceled. They canceled it.
No, the manga isn't that long.
Oh.
So we're going to get like 12, 13 at most episodes, and it's done. So it's going to be this perfect little package. We're not going to have a season 2 to fuck it up.
Oh, nice. That'd be so, yeah. God, imagine if JC Staff picked this up.
So that's rough.
Brutal.
They would just be like, yeah, I got it. Sex girls totally know what to do. And it's like, no, guys, no. That was just a joke title. What the fuck? Because
I don't your Savage them. Seasons, hype in sex girls.
Yeah. So Maidens is incredible.
Yeah, it's
definitely my show of the season. It's so good. And then I'm still fucking loving Wasteful Days of High School Girls. Mm-hmm. It's absurd in so many good ways. It's just each new character that they kind of like explore their story a little bit more. I love it. They're adding so much character development to all of their like goofy ass stupid interactions. I love it so much. The main character always says like, "Hey, you want to hear something amazing right now?" Or like, "I have something amazing that I'm going to say right now." And the other character is like, "All right, so what fucking shit are you going to say?" Like they're so over her. And she always tries to say something really profound, but it's some of the dumbest shit you've ever heard. But it's like, She is thinking of these new things. I don't remember specifically what it was in this last episode, but I just remember that they were stopped at a train and she like legit tried to say something like really important and I didn't give a fuck about it. There's like, you're just the idiot friend. Like, who gives a shit this time? And then she went and she was a fucking goon the rest of the episode. Everyone else is doing fun, cool things. And God, it's a good time.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying that show.
I wish you would watch more.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just not for me.
No, it's
not for me.
It's just the Asobase.
Yeah,
got it.
That show,
Workshop of Fun.
Yeah,
it's very that style. So maybe you're just burnt out and don't want something else like that.
I don't know, man.
It's very much that same kind of.
I get it.
It's those vibes.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, totally good.
What's wrong with that?
I wish that you did.
So that
we could talk about it more.
But I'm not. Don't worry about it.
There's just every episode. There's always a new gag that gets me good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. They get you.
Works its way there.
Okay,
it's good shit.
So I'm watching. So let's see. Vinland Saga watching or talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I think I've seen the most recent episode where it's kind of chill, and then at the very end we see some fighting stuff, which is pretty good.
Always good.
Yeah, good show.
So you've been watching Given?
I have been watching Given. I don't think I'm all the way caught up. It's just gay boys doing gay stuff with guitars.
All right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
The thing about this show is that like there's nothing really like super amazing about it for me to brag about it, for me to be like, hey man, you have to watch this. It's more just like I like this strange niche thing, and it happens to be that it's just this for some reason boy love, and it's drawn well enough for me to not turn it off. So it's like, all right, I'll watch this.
I almost watched it. So close to keeping it on my queue.
I don't think you'd like it. I think you would like fall off, honestly.
Yeah,
because big thing about you is characters, right? Mm-hmm. These characters are not that great.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got. Is I'm just like, you know what? Episode 1 didn't really feel like I learned much about the characters. Just a very one track kind of thing for each of them. So
yeah, I mean, it boils down to there's Broody Boy, right? There's Dumb Boy.
Yeah.
There's obviously Gay Boy that loves the other band member, and the last one is Playboy, who has no clue that his best friend's in love with him. That's just kind of what it boils down to. It's enough for me to be like, all right, I'm gonna keep watching this. Like I said, caught up with Dr. Stone. Mm-hmm. It's not the best. I do enjoy it, and a lot of it is that educational bit where it's like, cool, they're making fucking mercury, or they're making gunpowder.
Good for them.
Good for them. Yeah, not the best looking show. I wish it was like more visually stimulating. I'm I think an episode behind on season 2 of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon.
Okay.
The new arc has started, right?
Yeah.
The last arc was the Apollo, Familia War, whatever. That's done with. Now we're going into this new arc where I don't know what deity she is, like what her name is, or what fuck. She's obviously not Greek or Roman mythology. She's from like I think it's like a Middle Eastern mythology, like an Indian or something like that. But her gist is like she's like the goddess of like lust or whatever and like sex, and she has like a sectioned off like section in the big city or whatever, and it's like the red light district.
Yeah,
like I think almost all the members in her family are just like really hot chicks.
Okay,
and like so at night he's like, hey girls, it's time to go out there, fucking thrive on some lust and make some fucking cash. Get out there, bitches. And these girls are like, yeah, we're gonna fuck men, and they just and our fucking main character who's a saint, right?
Yeah,
accidentally gets dragged along into this fucking red light district because one of the newest members of his family has heard that a family friend of hers, like when she was younger, has been bought and like is like being worked in like as a prostitute or whatever, and she wants to see it for her own eyes and like try to like to save her from what's going on with her. And I think we've met her. Like they didn't find her, but Belle got lost and then comes across this chick who's like a wolf chick or a fox chick. She has like ears and a tail, and she's like they have like this last episode I saw like it was a lot of dialogue and them talking about stuff, and like she goes, hey man, I'm a prostitute, like I'm not very experienced, like she fainted when she was supposed to like do stuff with the main character, and she's like, I'm not very like good at what I do. He's like, but this is what I do now, and like she goes like, I don't expect anybody to like to save me or anything because like I don't have any worth, and like I'm a bad person or whatever.
Sounds like she needs to be added to the harem.
Yeah, and so then Belle hears this and he goes like, I don't know if I agree with that. He's like, well, that's how I feel, and he leaves the like red light district. Like she helps him get out, and then like the fucking leader of this family, this goddess, she I think she fucks the shit out of Hermes, and like makes him tell like some secret or whatever. And she's like, I think Hermes is like in the bed, like in the sheets, and he's like crying. He's like, oh, I can't believe like, I had sex. Like I told her everything. Like he wanted to keep a secret that Belle was there. She's like, and now the chick's just like, oh yeah, like my job is to fucking be obsessed with Belle. I'm gonna make him mine or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. Kind of like the last arc where like, where for some reason Apollo was just obsessed with him. So now this new character is obsessed with him, and she's just like really hot and has a bunch of hot chicks around him. It's great. It's the best show ever. It's the best show in the world. Watching that. Let's see what else. Oh, Maiden's great. Fucking, we talked about that. It's awesome. The last show I think that I watch that you don't watch is it's like something from World Comics to the Strongest or something like that. I don't even know what the name of the show is.
Yeah,
it's Ed Jordan McGee or whatever.
Yeah, it's Weak Boy Gets Strong.
It has like a gun.
And it's on Funimation.
Yeah, I really like the show.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And I'm only like 3 or 4 episodes in.
It's like dumb but fun.
Yeah, he's still like in the labyrinth. He's saved this chick who's like the queen of vampires or whatever. And like she's...
How many people has he saved now?
Just the one.
And that was it, like the first episode?
That was in the second episode.
That was in the second episode?
Yeah.
Why did I know about that?
Because I told you about it.
Maybe it was in a preview?
Maybe.
Because I'm like visualizing it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But he saves her. They're like still traveling down, and like he made an even bigger gun. She's now using him as like a juice box. Like she sucks his blood, and she's like,
nice.
She has the power to like, she has a bunch of magical powers or whatever. And it got strangely etchy at one point, and it was like, oh, okay, because she's just like, I'm hungry, and she like takes off all her clothes and jumps on him, and then it cuts to black, and we just hear and I was like, okay, I get it. I mean, it makes sense. The outro is silhouettes of the character of like all the girl characters or whatever, and like the girls in sexy positions, and they got shiny knees and shiny shoulders, shiny boobs, shiny lips, just shiny everything. Yeah, yep. I really like the show. I think it looks good. They fight cool shit. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I like it. And it's dubbed, so I just turn it in and turn my brain off.
There you go. Easy to go.
That's it, man. That's all the animes.
That's all the animes.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you've been enjoying it.
Let's get into the news, yeah?
I have a few pieces of news for you. Not a whole lot. So, first off, back to Kyoto Animation. We've talked a lot about what's been happening with them and the fire, the arson, all of that stuff. Well, now the Japanese government is treating the donations to Kyoto Animation as disaster relief rather than revenue, which is good. It means it's not taxed or anything like that. It's just something to help them, which I think is just fantastic.
Good on them.
Yeah. And then in other news, also dealing with profits in some way or another. Of course, Kyoto Animation, very different than this situation, but how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? Do you remember that show? It's coming out. It's out this season. Chick lifts weights, and there's
it's on Funimation.
Boy with a smooth ass face, but he's ripped as shit, and she has some friend that's apparently really into it. Anyways,
I always have the urge to watch it, and I go, no, it's okay.
Possibly one of the reasons you have an urge to watch it is because the opening song, the opening theme, right now it's the top of Japanese iTunes
shit.
On the anime song charts. It's just like fucking dominating everything else.
I heard, I don't know if this is true, is iTunes going out of business, or is it like the iStore or Apple Music? One of those is like no longer going to be a thing or whatever.
All right,
I don't know which one, but one of those is going away.
See ya, Apple.
Apple's staying around for sure. Unless Disney buys them. Then they call it something else.
Bapple. Anyways, so the fun little fact about how well that OP is doing.
Can you remember it, like, off the top of your
head? Yeah, for sure. Like, Onagai, Muscle, Mecha, Motatai.
You singing it?
Yeah, stuff like that. And Onagai, Muscle, Mecha, Yasatai. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because I'm not bringing any bells.
Me either. Yeah. I'm just reading what other people commented. I'm sure that they just jam that. Yeah. So whatever.
Okay.
And then in a similar topic of these shows that are kind of like, anyways, We Never Learn. You remember that show? You watched it. Kyle watched it. Kyle for sure watched it. You remember We Never Learn?
No. What's it about? You don't remember?
So it's about these girls that never learn.
Is that the one about
it's like the sisters or whatever?
Oh, the quintuplets.
No, it's not the quintessential quintuplets. You son of a bitch! You're conflating them again.
Is this
maybe
one?
Kyle didn't watch it?
No,
but we
Kyle didn't watch this one. This is the one.
It.
This is the one where like one girl
one's
wants
a genius,
one wants to do
one's
math, and the other wants to do English, even though they're good at the other thing. Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, I watched this one. This one's great.
So season 2 just had an anime promotional video.
Woo! Season 2
airs October 5th.
This is the one where there was also a character who was a swimmer. You know?
Yeah,
that's the one.
We didn't get to see it, or you did get to see it. I don't know. I didn't watch
whatever.
She's Waterflea, I think is her name, or something like that. And they make fun of her, you know. Anyways, hey, you guys remember when we reviewed Forest of Piano?
Yeah,
because it's like a Netflix original, but it's not, but it is. Yeah. So it's been around for a while as a manga, and apparently it's getting a new manga series.
Nice.
Which I think is really interesting that they're like, hey man, yeah, we have this show, and because we had this show come out, people are more interested in it. Let's just remake the manga.
That's wild. I know,
right?
And you never talked about this in the past, where like it's so strange when there's those shows or mangas that are revolved around music, because like how do you convey the music being playing?
And then there's Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, right. And they do.
That's what I'm always gonna throw back at you.
It's just so strange, especially because like one of my biggest issues with the anime of fucking Forest Piano was they were playing music and people were talking it up like it sounded amazing, and I was just like, this sounds right. Fine, I wasn't blown away. Good for them. I know people like this, so congratulations.
But yeah, the manga is gonna come out sometime soon. It's gonna run in Morning, which I assume is a manga magazine.
Yeah. Okay. What else you got?
Netflix is going to add Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, the Battle of Unato, and that is the first film. So if you watch the series, I think that it's on Netflix now, not 100%, for sure on Amazon, I can tell you that much. Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress is essentially Attack on Titan, but instead of it being giants, it's zombies, and then they all get on a train and they're fighting zombies on a train. From the first episode, you're like, fuck, this is badass. And then from there, you're like, it's fine. I'm excited to see the movie, though, because I feel like movies always get a lot of really badass moments. And since it's been 3 years or whatever since I've seen the show, I'm pretty excited to check it out. I
just looked it up. It doesn't look like they have the actual series, but they already have like the preview and like for the movie that's going to be coming out.
All right, so they're working on it. So September 13th, we're going to get that. It is an anime movie that's not a recap.
Nice. It's a sequel.
So, I think we looked it up, and it takes place half a year in the future from the end of the
series.
Yeah.
It's good. So this
don't know if there are OVAs or anything, but yeah.
This is something we've seen in the past, and like this is because it's an excuse to have a topic for an episode.
It sure does, and boy, are we going to review that when it comes out. That's everything that I have for the news this week. So why don't we talk about our main topic, which is Cannon Busters. It's a Netflix original exclusive by Studio Satelight, and the director is LeSean Jackson. Okay, I wanted to say Johnson. I was like really close. I'm going to catch myself.
I wanted to say Deshaun.
I could for sure tell you.
LeSean? Okay.
It's LeSean because I remember reading LeSean.
God, now over and over and over. I'll look it up.
All right, cool.
Cannon Busters.
So this is a show that you heard about a while ago at the Netflix panel.
I was wrong. Thomas. LeSean Thomas.
All right, let's start it from the top.
No, it's keeping it. We're keeping it. All right. This is how much we care about our job.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. If the show was better, we would have been better at this part, right?
That's kind of sad, yeah.
Yeah, but that's completely true, because whenever we care about something, we're like, Satoshi Kon, yeah, I got that name down, fucking easy.
Tied on my chest.
Never fucking tatted anything in my life, but I for sure have his name tatted on my chest.
Nice.
But yeah, LeSean Thomas, he's this dude. He worked on. Did he direct? Did he write?
He worked on some of the Boondocks. He didn't create the Boondocks.
No.
And I don't know what seasons he worked on, but I remember that being a big deal. They're like,
yeah, that's the biggest deal.
And people actually kind of got confused. I think they were saying like, it's the guy that made Boondocks. This is not the guy that made Boondocks. This is someone that worked on the Boondocks.
Yeah,
at some capacity. I didn't.
And that's the biggest part about it. Really likes anime, big anime enthusiast. He actually went to Japan to work on this. And he had this project that he really, really wanted to make. The preview came out for it pretty recently, and we were like, oh, damn, that looks like it could be a lot of fun. Or not, because it's Netflix. And this is one of those things that it did not land for me at all. I wouldn't recommend people watch it normally. But if I was 12, I would have fucking loved this show.
Yeah, because Trip's 13 on the inside.
Exactly.
26 on the outside.
I've grown past.
27?
It's all good. 27.
But yeah, if he were a year younger inside, he would be like, this is my jam.
All about it. So, first episode starts up. And from what I've heard at this point, before seeing it, I talked to my friend Henry, and he said, oh, yeah, is that show that's like Trigun? And I'm like, I don't know. I try not to see much about it beforehand. He's like, I watched a couple episodes. It's kind of like Trigun. And I'm like, okay, let's see. Just boot it up, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of like Trigun. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is kind of like Cowboy Bebop. Oh, this is kind of like Gurren Lagann. Oh, this is kind of like Space Dandy.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's all of those at once.
It's strange, yeah.
And it was a combination that didn't work for me.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
but if I was a kid,
it's like, you know, spaghetti, one of my favorite things in the world. And you go, yeah, I also want to eat fucking ice cream. You don't mix those together.
No, I mean, you know, think about it. You like spaghetti and meatballs.
Love them.
Like meatball subs.
Yeah.
What if we threw noodles on that meatball sub? Just too much starch.
Yeah,
you know, it's too much
man.
going on. Like, you know,
get the fuck out of here. Get out of my
like,
brain.
I get it. It's fine. And like, if I'm like blitzed out of my mind or something, I want that, you know?
Yeah.
And for this anime, instead of being blitzed out of my mind, I'm 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I want that. You know? Is that working?
This is the spaghetti sandwiches of anime.
Thank you. Thank you. That being said, if y'all ever ain't ate spaghetti on bread, oh man, spaghetti on bread's fucking great. You get some buttered bread, throw some spaghetti on there, it's fucking amazing. But if you're going to full meatball sub and throw some spaghettis on there, nah, man, that ain't me.
Look, so the show starts off. It's very like action packed. I want to say does it start off with like the castle being raided or something like that?
I don't fucking care. I don't remember exactly how it starts out.
I can't remember how it starts off.
But that's for sure a plot line.
It starts off with this guy being like assaulted in the desert or whatever, and some big robot hand picks him up and he goes, "What's the nearest town?" And he goes, Balloon City or Bloom City or something.
Whatever the fuck.
Is right over them hills, and he goes, okay. He drops him down, and then like the mech thing runs away, and then the guy over like the walkie-talkie says something like, "He's coming, he's on his way, get ready." And then like there's like a fucking wanted poster that flies back, and it says Philly the Kid, and it's like this silhouetted guy,
$10 million.
Yeah, silhouette with like really big hair, and he's got like all these like etchings on him, kind of like tattoos.
Imagine Ty from Digimon, give him some scars on his face, and make him edgy as fuck.
And he's tan, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's how the show starts off, and I was like, I wonder what's going on here. We go to this really cool like western town or whatever, and like there's all a bunch of like there's a lot of stills and like stuff of like what the environment is. There's people with like robotic arms, there's, you know, human characters, there's non-human characters, there's robots, there's like it's like the future, but it's the
cat
past.
People, lizard people, aliens, it's everything.
It's all that stuff together. And then we I think we see this is the part like it starts off with like there's four guys, they're playing poker or whatever outside, and then one of the guys goes, you lost or whatever. He's like, what? No way. He's like, you're cheating. And they all stand up and they pull out their guns, and three of them draw on one guy, and he just goes, and he grabs the gun and puts it on his head, and then we cut away to something else. When we hear a bang, I go, oh fuck, that guy kill himself? You know, like it's a very brutal town or whatever. Then we go to like an outhouse, not a house, a bar, and there's people being thrown out of the bar, running away from the bar, and they're being like shot and stabbed and shit.
And then we meet our two other characters. This is essentially the Millie and Meryl from Trigun of Cannon Busters.
Yeah.
Except they don't really matter.
Yeah.
They're around.
Even
one of them has like a main story.
And the other one has a story that's shown later, and then it's just like kind of resolved very quickly.
Honestly, they don't really matter.
No.
They're very just like there to be there kind of. every character in the show is just there to be their character.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
So Sam is a robot, like a really advanced robot or whatever, and she looks almost human, right?
Yeah.
And she's very friendly, and she wants to be everybody's friend, and blah, 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 all this stuff. And
Hi, I'm Sam. Do you want to be my friend?
And she's looking for Philly. Philly the kid, which is the main character, right? And then Casey, I think, is the other robot. She looks more like a robot. She's like tiny. She's got like white skin, which is like metal, right?
She reminds me of like a Mega Man style robot to where like it's just a very generic robot face, but then it has so many other human characteristics that really like make it feel real.
Yeah, and she's a fix-it kind of person. She likes fixing things. She likes gadgets and stuff like that. So they're both traveling together, looking for Philly the kid, and they find him in this bar right after like a bunch of like violence ensues.
Yeah,
and they kind of just
he stumbles out of the bathroom. Yeah, he gets shot.
He gets shot right in the gut, and then he regenerates, and we see like a number appear on his skin, and it's just like.
He's got a bunch of tattoos.
Holy shit, yeah. And like, I quickly
immediately you're just like, oh, those tattoos are how many times he died.
Right? Yeah. So we find out that that's why people want him. He's obviously done a bunch of stuff. He's immortal. Yeah. And that's why people can't kill him, because like he kill him, he just comes right back.
So his conflict is people want him dead, and he just doesn't want to bother anyone, but he's also a piece of shit.
It's kind of an asshole, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, Sam and Philly meet, and she quickly like says like, hey, I need to get to this place, be my friend. And he's just like, okay, sure, but like not like he's begrudgingly doing it at first because he needs to get out of this fucking shootout that happens. They escape the thing, and then they just kind of go on their journey. And every episode is them kind of continuing to go on this journey, which is weird. The weird bit is like, he never says like, yeah, I'll do it or whatever, but he never actually like makes the effort to get rid of them, Yeah. Like he never like kicks them out of the car or tries to kill them. He's killed people before, right? Like
he's kind of just like, whatever. And then a couple episodes in, he's like, I'm going to sell this girl. Like, she's clearly a high-tech robot, and I could keep her with me until I could sell her. So he calls somebody and like sets up a deal.
Yeah. And he sells her, and then like he gets backstabbed in this fucking the wastelands or whatever. And then they all escape together, right? But still, even after then, it's just like you have no obligations to people.
No,
right?
that was the deal again. The deal was I'm still gonna sell her because she has ties to the prince.
But then even after he sells her again, right? Like because he goes back to this fucking town that's been like obliterated, right? There's like nothing there. Like that's why he's gonna sell her to some other guy, another high bidder. And he could have just left her there, but he just keeps having her with her.
Because she's very valuable.
But he can't get rid of her. Like every time he tries to get rid of her, she just gets stuck with him. I'd cut my losses because Billy just like Billy. There it is, Billy. I call him Billy, which is the issue that we had earlier.
Yeah, well, because Sam, the chick main character, she just. There's sometimes where she very clearly says Philly, but there are a lot of moments where it's just like Philly.
It sounds like
Philly.
Billy. Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah, it sounds like Billy, which is like the Western fucking bandit that
Billy the Kid.
It's like, who's a real person. Anyways, it was so, how like you don't understand like the Dr. Stone kind of thing, like why are they friends kind of thing, why are they together? That's how I felt about this whole thing. Like
it completely is.
Like the three of them are just like stuck in this really cool car, by the way, that happens to turn into a mech. They're stuck together all the time. I was like, oh my God, if I were this immortal dude, right, I would just leave them somewhere and just go away. Cause these people keep getting him into trouble. Like, they don't seem to ever help him, or he never ever seems to actually care about them, Yeah. Even by the end of the show, like when like there's a huge resolve and like all this stuff happens or whatever, he still begrudgingly agrees to like, all right, I'm going to continue to do this thing. Why? God knows why. Anyways, so Sam, Casey, Philly, that's the first like group, right? The other group is like where Sam is from, where her original owner is from. Yeah. He's like the prince of this like really high-tech nation or whatever. It's been under attack by these people who have ancient powers, which is magic, right?
Yeah, there's like a freaky monkey man that's hanging out in some kind of a void zone that's apparently important, but
we don't know how or why. So anyways, like they attack the city. The prince escapes with like this really big, strong knight guy named Odin. And then Sam gets separated. I think she like falls down like a river and gets swept away. The fucking, by all senses, like the capital is destroyed. The king is like captured by this monkey man, right? And the monkey man doesn't kill him or whatever, and instead like holds him and tortures him, and then he goes, "Oh, you don't know who I am?" I'm like, the guy's like, "I don't fucking know who the fuck you are. Like, look at you, right? You're this giant monster." And then like he projects, I guess, what he used to look like or whatever, and he's just like, "Oh my god, you're my son or whatever, or daughter or something. They're related somehow." And then he goes, "That's right, and I'm gonna hurt you or whatever," which is like the entire show. Like we'll cut back to like throughout the like different episodes,
like every other episode
we'll cut back to like him at the Capitol, and the king is still there. It's still just being tortured by the dude, and like he's
getting wrapped up in a snake and whatnot,
or like being like shocked or whatever. I don't know, but he's just like, "I'm the bad guy for the sake of being the bad guy. It doesn't fucking matter why.
Whatever.
I'm just a bad dude." And he really wants to get the prince captured, so he sends off like a couple of his assassins. Anyways, so that's another subplot, right? Like there's like,
that's the actual story.
Yeah, like the fucking the prince trying to get to, I don't remember what it was called, but it was this stronghold that the nation has had. So their entire like their journey is to get there and be safe, and it takes them like a really long time. It's kind of dumb how long it takes them, because by the time they get there, I think like maybe like a day before they got there, or maybe a few hours before they got there, the bad guys got there. And they're just like, "We're waiting for you." I was like, what a waste. Like, and not to fucking ruin things.
Who gives a shit?
The prince is like the world's biggest bitch.
He's super whiny, but he's also like, everyone needs to be safe and friends, and everyone needs to be good.
But then, he's just, I can't.
I think he does like a 180 at the end, and he's like, "Fuck you, robot, you stupid piece of shit
that
doesn't feel shit."
Yeah.
And then he also flips back, and he's like, "Of course you're a person. Like,
you have
feelings.
We're best
you're
friends."
great." I fucking hate him as a character.
What I really liked about that bit is because he's really distressed, and he snaps on Sam, and like he's like, "You're not human, right?" And then he turns back, and his excuse is like, "I just found out my dad died or whatever," and like it's just like, okay, cool. So you're just a monster now, and you're just allowed to talk to people that way or whatever. This is your fucking. But you don't know how much shit she's gone. I mean, as much as I don't like Sam, all the shit she's gone through to fucking get you here.
Sam's fine. She's just a boring character.
Yeah. So there's not even really like a point to like break down the entire series. Points is, they eventually get to the places where they need to be, which is this stronghold. Both parties, right?
Yep.
They get attacked by the assassins that the big gorilla man had sent. And like in these last two episodes, there's actual like animation, right? Like
for the most part.
Yeah, because the rest of the show doesn't really have any good animation.
It all looks fine though.
It's okay, but it's nothing like amazing, right? It's something like the
cool character designs, cool settings.
It looks like the budget here is like for sure in the last two episodes. They have a really slick fight where Odin fights this ninja guy who's doing some like, I think some really cool shit. He does like a substitution jutsu.
Absolutely.
He does like a fucking fucking shadow clone. I was like, oh, this is dope. Like, and it's, I also like the juxtaposition of like the way they fight. One guy's just really strong, big. The other guy's like, I'm fast and I'm like really like sneaky and shit. And like that, and like seeing those two collide, it's really fun. And then this guy named Nine, who's a samurai, a drunk samurai they met along the way, is also back to help them.
Because it's very episodic. Yeah. And that's kind of where the whole like
it's Trigun,
Cowboy Bebop kind of feel comes from, and Space Dandy. Yeah. It feels like very similar to those two in that regard.
Where like it is like this linear story, but it's not like this is what happened the very last time. Like it's like, it could be a couple days, it could be whatever. Nine fights this chick that looks like a character from Kakaguri.
Yeah.
When I first saw her, I was like, she looks really familiar. I can't tell.
I already know her.
And then Sierra came home and she like sat down, like, and I was watching the last episodes. I'm like, you can watch it. It doesn't matter. This isn't worth watching.
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
And she goes, they obviously saw Kakaguri. I was like, that's where it's from. There's a chick who's like the psychotic girl with like an eye patch or whatever, who's in love with the main character. They looks just like her, except she's blonde and she has a laser out of her eye. They fight. And this fight has like some pretty cool animation, but also the worst animation of the entire show, right?
Yeah.
You can talk about it.
So essentially what happens is everything's popping off. There are like 3 or 4 fights going on at the same time. And this chick bursts down a wall and starts strutting in like she's a badass. And the animation would have looked pretty badass if you had like 8 more frames in between each step, but instead it was like 3 frames. It was like right foot, and then we're at the same point, and then left foot's in front, and it was just back and forth with that. And she just looked so stuttery at this moment when everything else has been really fluid and clean. So this really takes you out of it.
Yeah.
More so than anything else in the show. And then she just has this grin on her face and she's smiling really big and you can see all of her teeth and she's talking and says like a few sentences, never moves her mouth. It's just it's 3 frames of her walk cycle and a big old grin on her face.
It feels like the studio forgot to do this animation. They go,
right?
Oh,
that was the one scene that they forgot.
And they're just like, I don't know, do something, make it, do something quick. So they made this really shitty walk. And like, they could have just like showed the back of her head or cut to a different camera angle, but they showed like her mouth not moving. And I was like, I'm glad you caught that, because I remember seeing that and being like, oh, that's bad.
It was fucking gross. It was one of the worst things I've seen.
But I'm glad it was
in anything we've watched recently.
I'm glad it was so egregious that even you were like, ugh,
yeah,
look at that. Like,
no, it was terrible.
So that's horrible. Anyways, the prince gets kidnapped and then saved and then kidnapped again. And then he gets taken back to the capital. And then, so who we have left at this fucking stronghold is Philly, Sam, Casey, Nine, Odin, and they're all just like, Odin, what are you gonna do? He's like, well, I'm gonna go find the guy and I'm gonna save the prince, and bring him home, even though he technically is going home, right?
Yeah, whatever.
And then Sam's like, cool, we'll go too. We'll fucking help, right, Casey? Yeah, I got nothing else to do. And then Nine's like, yeah, whatever. You got beer, I'll come. And then they go, oh, the capital has the best beer in the world. It's like, oh, well, I'm in it or whatever.
All right, let's go.
And then like, you two, Philly, and Philly's like, what? No, why would I do that? And they're like, come on, Philly. And he's like, all right. I mean, my car's broken, but yeah, I'll go. And that's it. And it's just like, it's like so much stuff happens just to get to this end to be like, all right,
it didn't fucking matter.
That's the end of the arc. See you next season, boys.
Man, there was a really weird moment. So one thing that goes on this whole time is like Philly dies and he doesn't really care. So I felt like he essentially says he was cursed by a witch. His family gets killed and then he feels like he wanted to do something about it, but he can't do anything. And then a witch curses him to never be able to die. So he just has to like live in constant like regret.
Well, the thing is like, so his family was murdered, right? And then he escapes. And then this is in the time when magic was still like a thing, right?
Yeah.
And he comes across like some sort of witch, right? And he sells his soul to the witch to be like, give me the time or whatever for me to be able to like kill or avenge my family. And the guy's like, cool. Yeah. So he makes it so he can't die. And instead of like using it to avenge his family, he just kind of fucks around for a bit.
Yeah.
And he
dies so much.
Oh yeah. It's like,
for no reason.
I think he's like in his 30s or 40s by the time. And then the series.
Yeah. Probably like 40s.
Yeah. And then
50s maybe.
So it was like, cool. Like his goal should be like, I'm the reason I'm such an asshole or whatever is like because someone killed my family and I want revenge, but I'm just kind of this lazy degenerate. And yeah. And so like, it's at the second to last episode or the last episode where we find out that the way he's going to avenge the death of his family is to kill the prince because he's the prince of the same country that killed his family.
Yeah.
And like, he's going to do it like a couple times. He's holding the gun at the right spot. And then Sam stops in.
And this is why I even brought up his storyline.
Yeah.
Is because of Sam. So nobody realizes that she's like a big old attack robot.
Except for Casey.
Yeah. Which that's Casey's little secret. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the prince also knew in some regard, but he was surprised. Because he's never seen it before, because he's never had to utilize that. Anyways, if somebody that Sam cares about is in danger, she goes into attack mode and she like transforms into some kind of an attack robot thing. Mm-hmm. And it's a very distinct difference. But in that fucking last episode, she turns into a freaky kind of like squishy robot thing, which...
Yeah.
What?
Well, what's funny is because like she turns like she like blows up and gets all big, and she has like this nasty squishy mold around her, and then that breaks, and she's a little more smooth, but she still looks bad, right? It's kind of like this humanoid shaped thing, and she's this mech, and she's super strong. I didn't like it.
This is the point in the show where I was like, there were a few points where I was like, maybe they have like Eureka 7 influence. And this point I was like, yeah, they have Eureka 7 influence, but in like all the wrong places, man. So this felt very like Eureka 7 movies kind of vibes where like Nirvash is a big old mech. Mm-hmm. It's a car. It transfers into a battle mech. That's why I was like, maybe it has inspiration from Eureka 7 because Philly the Kid has this like fucking Cadillac that turns into a big old bull mech.
Bessie, yeah.
Right? And then Sam turns into this weird squishy blob thing, and it's just so similar to like the way that Nirvash looks in some way or another. And she's shooting big old rays that are the most devastating attacks of all time, which is also similar to like the 7 swell that happens in Areka 7. And I'm like, this fucker he for sure took it from that. Like, there's no possible way he didn't. Trigun, he took so many things from Trigun. There are just a lot of influences that instead of being like, oh, you could tell that this is like inspired from that in some way or another. It's just like,
boom. Yeah. Copy paste kind of thing.
Exactly.
Feels like
and
that,
there were a couple of things too. I can't remember specifically what it was, but it was like a specific reference to something else. And I was like, they just fucking stole that. But like, I think it was one of those like, oh, they made a reference thing. But it felt like it was just like, oh, they stole that. I can't remember what it was.
Well, there's we were talking about the assassin that's, you know, has like, that's like, it's like you said, it's an homage or whatever to like the Trigun episode where like he takes care of some orphanages or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And like one of the orphans ends up like trying to.
It felt really similar to this whole story thing, yeah.
You know, like I said, like there's a bit where like the fucking ninjas fighting fucking what's his name, Odin, and he turns into the big log appears after the poof. I go, yeah. So you can like specifically see like the melding and the like the bits that are taken from other things, but some of them just feel way too like they straight up, like, it wasn't just what they did. Because for me, that's like, oh, that's a nice little homage to like this thing. But this was like, they just straight up said the name of like some other shit. Oh, yeah.
That like, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, what the fuck? I wish that I could remember specifically what it was.
I must have not have caught
it. It was one of those moments where I just like rolled my eyes because it was so stupid. But there were other moments where I rolled my eyes because this kind of stuff is something that, again, if I was 12, would have been like, oh, that's fun, that's cool. So Casey has this story arc where they go to this one really nice city in the sky, but then they can't get up there because they're not permitted to. Only like certain people of a certain social status are allowed up there, or
kind
something.
Battle of Unato-ish.
Yeah, similar to that. Take fucking every idea from everything else and just throw it in here. And then underneath is a bunch of junk. And Casey is a fixer robot and she wants to fix all this junk. So she's thrilled. Finds her own kind of robots that are all broken. She's like, oh, I'll fix you up, little robots. And then there's one that's still working and it goes and finds her. And then they're having a little conversation and she's like, my name's Casey. What's your name? Like, my name is Model 1337. And I'm like, okay, so they're saying Leet. That's fine. That's stupid, but that's fine. Just a little gamer thing in there. And then Casey's like, I'll call you Leet. I'm like, oh man, guys, why you gotta jam this stuff in my face? Like, if I was 12,
you'd be like, that's all. You'd be like, nice, cool reference.
Nice, dude. Yeah, exactly. But
as a 27-year-old man, you're just like, oh, gross, guys. Like, you'd fucking do me like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like a weird circle jerk thing at this point. Because, like, and this is, I don't remember if we talked about it in this episode, or if we were talking about it before we started recording, but we were a little bit confused about the rating.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about this before we like hit record.
Okay,
then we had to stop and actually record the podcast
because there's a lot of shit that we could talk about for a while, because this show hits a lot of bizarre points, which if we hadn't seen everything that we've seen at this point, we might not have as much to talk about. But because it's just like a ton of stuff
all over the place,
everything else that we've ever seen, there's a lot of influence.
So the thing that like, so this is you asked me, hey, what's the thing you don't like about this show? And I go, this is what I don't like about this show. What I didn't like about the show was I just kind of hit play and started watching it, and I go, okay, cool. This style looks kind of reminiscent of like older anime or whatever. It's fine.
It looks clean.
It looks okay, right? You know, things are like, you know, pockets, gloves, everything's designed a specific way. I'm like, that's all right, it's fine.
They all got style.
And then, you know, like, people start dying left and right, like, and there's like pretty violent deaths, you know, people getting shot and stabbed, and they go, okay, that's interesting. And it doesn't really, and people are saying like bad words, like, you know, their dialogue is
dropping
like
F-bombs.
throwing F-bombs and shit and fuck and all those kinds of, and I go, okay. It doesn't really dawn on me until like episode 2 or 3 to see what the rating is for the show is, because there's an episode where like they go to the Outlands or Wastelands or whatever, and like Philly gets betrayed, and they're gonna skin him and like use his skin to make skirts and eat his like kidneys for like soup or whatever.
Yeah, and these characters are wearing human flesh and whatnot.
And then they hang him on a meat hook, and in the farm there's like other meat hooks with other humans whose skins have been ripped off, and I go, whoa, what's the rating for this show, right?
Yeah.
So the rating is MA, so like mature adults or mature audience, right? And I go, okay. There's just in my head is like, there's just this weird disconnect here, like the way it looks, and like the amount of violence and like gruesome stuff that we see, combined with like this dialogue that is, you know, adult-ish, like, you know, it's PG-13, sometimes a little over, right? And then the way they say the lines, you know, like it's very peppy. It's very like, you know, like, hey, you know, like, haha, we're having a good time.
Like childish fun.
It feels childish, right? And then like, also shit like the bumpers in between, like when there's a commercial break, we see a still of a character, the word Cannon Buster pops up and you hear like, and it goes, Cannon Buster or whatever, you know?
Or another character, Cannon Busters!
Yeah,
you know, it's whatever.
Very like, something that's like very like old. And,
it's
like,
old school.
It's not very flat. I mean, like, I think like My Hero does the Plus Ultra one, but it's more low key, right?
Yeah, they've gotten a lot more low key.
Yeah, but this one's like very in your face, right?
Yeah,
like
it used to be in your face for a while. The first one that I remember seeing that wasn't in your face was Eureka 7, and that was in like 2007 or whatever. So this is a big throwback.
Yeah, and then like, you know, there's like the way the story is told, like the way like people talk to each other. There's like the big bad is just the big bad for some reason, and like instead of killing the king, he's just like, I'm gonna torture you and I'm evil. Like there's just like it's this weird thing where who's this for? And I was like talking to Sierra about this, and like because I was trying to understand it, and she goes, well, maybe it's for people who liked that anime in the past, like the nostalgia, you know, anime, and like, but they want it for like it's more adult and more mature, like the content is more gritty and violent. And I go, okay, yeah, maybe it is for that. But it's so weird for them to do that, but not change the style of like how the show is like how the story is told, right? Like anime has come such a long way where like if I, you know, I watch Trigun because like he's like, hey, it's one of my favorites. And I watch it and I can go, I can appreciate this for it being like old anime.
But it's old.
It's old, you know, and the way the story is told, it's like it's different, and I get it. Like, cool, man. It's like a classic, right? Like,
yeah.
But like
well, that's the difference between Hunter x Hunter and Hunter x Hunter.
Right? Like, yeah, they're different, right? Like so instead of like upgrading updating the way that how anime storytelling has progressed, they're just like, let's just do old school too. So it's like it just feels bad. It doesn't feel good. Like the dialogue, the contents, the way the story is told, like the amount of gore and violence, and it's all over the place. So it's almost like I would love to pop my nephew and like, hey, check out this cool show, and then it starts like becoming like really violent, like, oh, maybe you shouldn't watch this. But then I go, but the story's so poorly written and the dialogue's such shit. Like, why would I watch this? You know?
Yeah.
It just steals and collects and like borrows like all these ideas. It's almost like the guy who made it is just like, yeah, man, I loved all these shows. I'm just gonna chop bits of it and like put it in a blender, and that's my show, and people are gonna love it.
Honestly, it's one of those things where it feels like there are some specific references, and there are other moments where it's like, it feels original enough, like it feels heavily inspired by something else and like almost ripped off from this other thing.
Yeah.
But it feels like one of those things where it's just like, no, man, I have this great idea in my head, and you don't realize that you're actually like taking another idea and changing it.
Yeah, it's like copying someone's homework, but you get a few of the answers wrong or whatever.
Yeah, no, not even that, because that's like intentional. This feels like
like he didn't know.
Yeah, like, it's like, okay, so man, I got this amazing idea, and then you wind up being like, oh shit, no, that's Trigun.
It's like it's like reading. I had a buddy, actually, I think you know him, you know Evan.
Yeah.
So I have a buddy, Evan, who was like, he wanted to like write a screenplay. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm writing this bomb ass screenplay. Like, I'm really into it. I'm like, cool, man. Whenever you get a chance, let me read some of it, right? Some months go by and I go, hey, Evan, how you been, man? It's like, how's the screenplay going? He goes like, oh, I quit writing it. And I go, why? What happened? He goes like, I realized I was just writing Full Metal Jacket. Like, he was just like, he's like, I have this amazing story for idea. But it was just this other movie he'd already seen before. And he's just like,
that's what happened.
And he goes, oh, this is just that. I guess this isn't my idea. And it was like, I guess that's what this, it feels like.
That's very much how I feel. But I also feel like there could have been a point too where it was like, oh fuck, this is just Trigun. This is just Space Dandy or whatever. Well, I'm already in it now, so let's just keep
like
it up.
Ride on. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, like you'd think that like having a bunch of these like great shows together or whatever, and like that are would like make you be like, oh, man, this is so much fun. But it's almost too much. It's like overload, right?
Yeah, it's too much of not like the core heart of the show, but the like surface level of these shows.
Yeah.
Right? Because like Trigun, it starts out with this fun ass Western, and there's a bunch of shooting, and there are these like really out of place characters in this kind of gritty world. And that's the way that this show feels. Mm-hmm. But Trigun at its core is not that. It's a story about humanity and what kind of we have to do in order to like be happy, and a whole bunch of different things, like our identities. And
we were talking about how like but before we were recording, we was talking about like there's bits in this show where I'm just like, that's fun. That's so much fun, right? Like, I wish there was more of this. And then I would be brought back to reality. Like, there's the bit, like, his name's Philly the Kid, right? Yeah. Like, you know, an homage to Billy the Kid, or whatever, we talked about that. There's a point where someone calls him, and it's like near the end of the show, calls him the Immortal Cowboy, you know? And I go, for like a split second, I was like, ooh, boy, I'm like hella juiced.
Cool,
I was like,
ass name.
The Immortal Cowboy. Like, imagine if he's like, you know, this fucking gunslinger and he can't die. And it was like, and then I go, oh wait, but it's Cannon Busters. This is the Immortal Cowboy. And I'm like, this is boring. And you're like, yeah, it's very like reminiscent of like
it's
Trigun, where he's like, yeah, he's Vashta Stampede, but people call him like what the
humanoid typhoon.
Holy shit! Now that's a fucking name, right?
Oh, you know, man.
So it just there's concepts in this thing, like, or little snippets, or like designs or characters where I'm just like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Like I really like 9, but 9 reminded me a lot of like I think like some Samurai Champloo, not a Samurai Champloo.
Also,
Afro
probably
Samurai.
had a shitload of influence from both of those things.
You know, Afro Samurai, Samurai Champloo.
We're not looking out for all of them.
There's a lot.
This is one of those passive shows where it's just like,
there's that.
You know what? I don't give a shit. I'm not paying full attention to it.
No, for sure. I mean,
and not initially. Yeah, but it got to that point.
I watched all of it. Like, I gave it a shot. It's just like, you know, it wasn't for me. There is so much in this. You know, it's like he had like 20 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag, right? Like, there's like just so much, and it's too much. And then when it was subtle, it was like, this is nice. And then you go, it's connected to all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some character designs I really liked. You know, if we're talking about positive things, character designs, some of them I really liked.
So good. They did a really good job with a lot of the environments and whatnot. When it wasn't just like a desolate wasteland.
Yeah, when it was like the cowboy town.
Yeah, they're really good at towns. Mm-hmm. Really good at interior of buildings, small buildings. When it gets to like the more high-tech temple type stuff, it looks generic as fuck.
One of my favorite like designs was like the bad chick assassin had like no arms. It was very Rayman-esque, you know?
Yeah, it looks like Rayman.
I was like, oh, cool. Like,
but in a really unique way that didn't feel like this is Rayman. Yeah. This is like, oh, that's like Rayman.
Yeah, she had like these
she's very unique.
She had like these glowing orbs on her shoulder and her wrist, and they connected the two. And I was like, oh, what I thought was like, what a daunting character to fight. Like, how do you beat that? That's really hard, you know?
And that's very similar in a way to like Star Wars and whatnot too. And like the Sith chokehold and whatnot. Yeah. She's standing from afar choking a bitch out. And you're just like, okay, that's badass. But she has like that physical part of it.
Yeah, the physical claws.
So it feels like that. Like, she has so much range and she has so much more power over everyone
really
else.
Deadly. I was like,
it's awesome.
Like, how do you fight that? Like,
great establishments, good parts. I don't remember if we already talked about the intro and outro being really good.
Oh yeah, man. The intro, I mean, the visuals were my favorite, but the song, I was like, this is a really bopping vibe. I'm digging it. Can't wait to watch some Cannon Busters.
Never skip the intro. The outro, since it just auto plays the next episode. Yeah. Well, I didn't tell it to not skip the outro.
Yeah, I played it was good. I played the outro full the first time. I was like,
me too,
because I wanted to hear it, and it sounded good. And there's times where I would play the whole thing, and it's good. It's like, it's a really chill vibe.
Boom, 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 boom,
and like they're showing visuals of like this, like the people who Sam's home or whatever, the prince's home. It's like, and how they've progressed with technology. It's like, this is nice. This is a cool way to end the show. So those are dope. So intro, outro, great. Character designs that really like. Again, some concepts like the fucking Immortal Cowboy, I liked. As a whole, I don't know. This for sure wasn't for me.
Yeah, just skip it. You could try watching it and you could be like, oh, I see. Skip it.
By the way, cannon busters are like these like super powerful weapons. She's a cannon buster. That's what a cannon buster is, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, which is also like a Trigun thing.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the show, man. Like, I don't know what else we can say about this. I feel really, because I kind of feel bad about like talking so much.
We talked a lot about this show, though. I mean, you could feel bad about talking bad about this, I guess.
I just, because like, I mean, LeSean worked obviously really hard on this. Like,
he wanted to so
like,
hard.
He had this idea. He was like super hands-on. I remember like, because I saw him like live at Anime Expo and he was talking about his experience, and he's also a part of that fucking Enter the Anime manga documentary that I can't finish because it's so hard to watch. But anyways, like LeSean, like this is a real big passion project for him. I don't know. I know Cannon Busters was like a comic book before. I don't know if he wrote the comic book before. But I know it is. It has, there's comics to it. But I mean, it sucks because like I really wanted to like for this to be amazing for me to love it, but I didn't. And it's there are people who do like it. I've seen some people on like online with the ratings. They're like, yeah, it's good, thumbs up, and I go, okay, cool, good for them.
Oh, and the studio, I forgot to say it earlier, but the studio, Satelight, which I did mention, they've done a lot of things that are really successful, like Fairy Tail, Log Horizon, Hellsing Ultimate. So it's not like this is something where like
it was a bad studio that picked it up. Yeah,
no, of course not. No, they have some expertise and they have a lot of experience with different kinds of anime.
Yeah.
So they've got dark, they've got light, they've got those ongoing series. They've got everything.
Yeah, they got them all. That's it. That was Cannon Busters. Hope you guys enjoyed our review. Again, this is just our opinion. If you love the show, please tell us why you liked it. That's great. We're always open to hear people's opinions. This is just what two dumb guys in a room think, right?
It's true.
Okay, cool. So next week, like we said, we're going to be doing Crunchyroll Expo.
Yeah.
It's our first time attending. I think
hit us up if you're in San Jose. If you're going to Crunchyroll,
this is the third time. Yeah. This is the third Crunchyroll Expo.
Yeah. Because the first one we were like,
we didn't go.
We don't really know. Like, we just went to Anime Expo. So
second one, Travesty hit.
Yeah.
Third one, Travesty hit again, but we're still going to go.
We're going to go. It's fine. So maybe next year I won't be wounded, but that
depends on how much we enjoy
you
this
and Sierra, though. I don't know. 3 people. We'll see. Somebody's getting hurt.
Someone's getting hurt. It's going to be me.
Fuck.
Anyways, that's what we're doing next week. Week after that, we got other stuff planned. It's going to be great. We're going to have so much fun.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, you guys.
Yeah. If you like our logo, hit up Erin from TurbyTops.com. She's a great person to work with. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instagram Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram Podcast. If you want to tweet at us, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast Benefit.
And you could go ahead and shoot us an email, instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. I don't know. Tell us what you think we should talk about. We'll also just straight up respond to you and be like, yo, man, we have talked about that. Or we have these opinions, but not enough for a full episode. Or whatever it is.
Just want a recipe for lasagna. Trip's got you.
Oh, it's true. I made a decent lasagna last night.
Pretty decent. Anyways, bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.